Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another day. Stephen, wow, you will not lose this your position for anything. Welcome, everybody. Rochelle White. You are now following Stephen Williams. How are you guys all doing today? Nice to have you. Nice to get to hear from you. Nice to speak to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please go invite your friends. Let's go invite our friends. Let's go tag our family members, all the people that we really care for. If you care about anybody today, you might want them to come on and join us today. Okay. I hope you got the notifications. Please go invite everybody that you would like to have here today with you. Williams. Yes, go and call on your people, go and call on your friends, go and call on as many people as possible. Let the revolution continue. The topic of today is cleansing the African Church of Syncretism. That's the general topic of the series. The topic of now is syncretism in relations to deliverance. Syncretism in relations to deliverance. Syncretism in relation to deliverance. So we're going to be talking about syncretism in the deliverance that is being practiced in African churches today. So I'm going to ask my assistant here to bring in some videos for us to see. Yes, please. Let's see what people call deliverance in churches in Africa today, which is extra-biblical. These things are not biblical.
I want you to hold your neighbor. Your neighbor will be saying whatever that is not of Jesus. Your neighbor wants to deliver it in the name of Jesus and to deliver you, and you deliver it.
We saw this yesterday. Now let's do another one. It's too close together. There has to be something. Yeah, let's see this one first. You see, what is this? I mean, can you see this noise going on, the kind of scream going on, screaming, shouting? I mean, this is acting. This is acting. This is absolute. I mean, this is witchcraft. This should remind you of what is happening in shrines. This should be reminding us of what is happening in witchcraft, voodoo shrines. You know, even if the lady is genuinely demon possessed, I mean, just use the authority in the name of Jesus and cast the demons out. Simple and straightforward. Why do you need all this noise? I mean, can you hear the noise? So you see, Jesus said, you don't win, you don't go to prayer with repetitive words. Come on, come on, come on. You know, they are just humiliating these people, humiliating this poor woman. You see, they are bringing the microphone into her mouth. This will let you know that this is not about human being. This is not about truth at all. It's not about truth. It's not about righteousness. It's not about deliverance. This is just about people using other people. I mean, they are bringing this woman to sacrifice. This guy here is an evildoer. This is a representative of Satan exploiting innocent women. Even if the woman is demon possessed, she is still a victim. Let me tell you something. Even if the woman is demon possessed, she's still a victim. She still needs to be loved. You see, have to have compassion upon her. You see, have to, treat her like a human being. I mean, you don't have the right. None of us has the right to be mistreating people in the name of deliverance. And what these people are doing in churches is mistreating people. This is somebody's wife. I mean, can you imagine the anger that the husband, when he comes to his senses, what the husband will be feeling? The husband cannot go out in public without people thinking that, oh, it's your wife that is being shown on television. And if somebody is going through this kind of, a very embarrassing, spectacle, why should they bring television to her? Why should they be showing her on television? Why should they be showing them on television? There is no respect for human dignity. There is no respect for for even a woman. You don't treat any human being like this. You are humiliating the God that is in them. And you are humiliating the God that created them. Let's see another one here. Why should they be treating human beings like this? Start from all over again. Why should they be treating human beings like this in the name of power? You will see that this doesn't have anything to do with God. It doesn't have anything to do with deliverance. It doesn't have anything to do at all with the power of God. This is just an attempt to show that the man is powerful. And where is that scream coming from? Where is that noise coming from? Look at the way they are pulling the woman on the floor as if she's the worst kind of creation. As if the woman herself is the one that is the demon. As if she is not the one that's supposed to be ministered to. Look at the way they are dragging that one. Look at the way they are dragging her. Who gives them the right? Look at the way they are dragging that woman here. Who gave them the right to treat anybody like this? I mean, these people are these so-called pastors are supposed to be in jail. They are supposed to be in jail by treating somebody's wife like this, by treating somebody's husband like this, not even husband, only women. You see what they are doing to poor women. And most of these women, you will discover that they don't even have any demons. The only thing is that they came for some miracles or the other. The only problem they have is that they have, they came to have healing. Maybe they need some healings, or they need some, not deliverance. They need children, or some of them want to marry. And it's not just that they are behaving like that. You think, or somebody might be asking the question, what makes them to behave like this? I tell you what makes them to behave like this. One person, after watching me doing this presentation, you know what the person did? The person, he gave me his name. He's not afraid of giving his name. In confidence, who is a friend of this pastor here, and he's also a friend of, he's a pastor himself, and he knows exactly what is going on. He actually told me that these people have been given something to drink. So first of all, they will make you to be on fast for like several days. So they will say, okay, you have to fast, you need deliverance, you want husband and wife, or you want husband, you want child or something. So for about 7 days, you are not eating. So after not eating for 7 days or 10 days, of course, anything, you are so weak already. You don't have the resistance. Then they give them something with acid or some liquid, so that by the time they touch you, you begin to misbehave like this. They give them something that makes them to lose their senses. There are some chemicals they give people that make them to begin to misbehave like this. And the reason is because these people want them to just perform. These people want them to be manifesting. And this is purely demonic, and it's being done intentionally. It's being done intentionally. So people are doing this intentionally. People are, arranging for this to happen. So they give people things to drink, and by the time you drink that thing, you don't know what will happen to you. Or sometimes the men who are touching them will have something in their hands, so that by the time they touch you, you lose your senses. And there was a certain what do they call him? Actor, a Nigerian actor. I think they call him Jim Ike, who experienced something like that. You see what they are doing? Though I missed that. I put it on myself. We'll go a little bit backward, just a little bit backward. So there was this Jim Ike that went to TB Joshua here, and he told the story of what happened to him. And it's not the only one who has told some similar stories. Many people have told similar stories that they don't know what happened to them. So these so-called men of God, they make people lose their senses because they give them something to drink, either hours before the time, or they give them something to drink a night before, so that by the time they calculate it, by the time they call you forward, you begin to manifest and you begin to behave like this. You don't know what is happening to you, and they will be telling you it's demons, even though people might be feeling bad. Some of them are vomiting. The reason why people vomit is because of what they gave them to drink, not because of demons. It's just because they needed to demonstrate that they are powerful. They needed the camera. You see the cameramen working, cameramen going about. They needed to show this in the world that they are powerful. So this is so demonic what people are doing. Especially these pastors like Adelaja, Joshua. These women don't know what is happening to them. They give them something to drink. They give them something to drink and they misbehave. So this doesn't have anything to do with Satan at all. It doesn't have anything to do with Satan. It is so demonic and and diabolical what is happening. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Let's see if we see that guy, that Jim Ike. Let's see if we could see his story. And he actually came to tell the story about what happened to him. So I think we should start with his testimony, or maybe everything is together. This is an actor, a popular actor in Nigeria that the mother was dying of cancer. So, and he will tell you the story. I think we have the story somewhere where himself will tell the story. Can we play it?
Setback when a video showing him being delivered of a demonic influence in the popular synagogue church surfaced online. He reveals that a desperate search for a miracle for his then ailing mother led him to the church. He insists he was not paid to make the appearance and that he was taken advantage of.
At that point, truthfully, they told me that there will be a cure in hell. I'll go. You're talking about your mother, So I went. Now, I remember I went there with my security, my sister, my PA, and when we got there, there was constant insistence. We're upstairs in one room. There was constant insistence that I come to church that day. And I said, well, that wasn't the arrangement. The understanding is that come do what you're people. Because we kept my mom, we brought her by ambulance, we kept her in the hospital nearby. So the understanding is that you lay your hands on her and she'll get better. But they said, no, you must come to church. Consequently, the argument won. My sisters forced me and I went to church downstairs. I was there, and when the whole thing about touching people and this stuff was happening, I found it a little laughable, seriously. I'm saying this on national TV, that people can confirm or not. And I remember my sister pinching me and telling me to stop. I said, come on, man, this charity, is this what we came here for? This no, let's move mommy out of here, keep looking for medical help. Then we're about to go to South Africa to this gentleman that was recommended to us, a specialist as well. The next thing, the gentleman in question passed, and I looked at him. I had the same look of amusement on my face, and he touched me. Now, I can't explain what happened within that space of time. Within that 5 minutes where whatever this happened, I'm not here to start preferring explanation to spiritual things that is way beyond me. I'm a man that understands how a lot of things work. That I cannot explain. And nobody can suggest anything otherwise. Because personally, I know what happened, to me. But within that time, lacks explanation. They said I said stuff, I did stuff. I found that extremely embarrassing at that time. But even further down the line, the reason I felt extremely bitter about it was, at the end of the day, my mom didn't get healed. I still lost her, So I carried that. When people were saying all kinds of stuff about it, some people even suggested that I got paid to come, through that charity. I thought that was the highest level of insult. I didn't want to come out in public media and talk about the real reason I was there, because if they understood, they will understand that it's the love of a mother that drove me there. So it happened, and it took the birth of my son really to let that issue go. For a long time, I was very bitter about it. I carried that yoke in my heart, and I just felt. I'm so mad at this man and everything that happened that time. But the truth of the matter is that I was holding myself captive, not him. He had that kind of power over me. Every time I saw him, I would request that it gets switched off. But at the end of the day, when I had my son, one night I got up, looked at my son, and felt the enormity of the kind of love a father can feel for his son. And I said, listen, for the reason and the occasion of my son's birth, I have to let this go. So I did what a man would do, cried about it, held my son, and swore that I would let it go. And by all intents and purposes, I think I have.
His altercation with popular media personality Olisa Adibwa also made news. Ike admits the situation could have been different if handled maturely.
Some men don't get over things easily. Apparently, I do. It happened in my life when I was a little capricious and I didn't know any better. I could have money. Now I would walk away. Then I would. That's what we're evolving beings. So him, I don't know his take on it, but I reached out recently via an assistant to say, hey, can we shake hands as men and get this over with? He didn't want to, so I said, hey, man. There's much to be learned from there, but it's happened. Anybody that's looking at me in hindsight is where he is in the past. I've moved on.
Anything that comes to my mind. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Salami. Yes, sir. Okay.
I think one day I'm going to do an expose. I think one day I'll do an expose. You guys, you people, remind me, please, here. I want to do an expose about what all this inside information that one of these deliverance ministers, one of the friend of this deliverance ministers wrote to me. He wrote to me, and I have them on here with his telephone. It's ready. It's ready to, but so this guy gave me all the inside information. So what happens is that he said there is no deliverance minister in Nigeria that doesn't give people something to drink. That makes them to later vomit, misbehave. They carry witchcraft. I've also said it many times that TB Joshua is using extrasensoric perception. ESP is using witchcraft. Same with Chris. And I'm saying it to the whole wide world. If I'm wrong, let them take me to court. Because this is going to expose them. This is going to, destroy their ministry. Because they cannot defend themselves in the court of law. And scientific investigation, scientific research will show that these people are using extrasensoric perception. In Europe here, it is easy to prove. It is easy to prove scientifically when you are using extrasensoric perception. So people use extrasensoric perception to block your mind, and that is exactly the example we are just saying with this Ike, whatever you call him, Ike what? Jim Ike. This Jim Ike guy is a proof to that. They mess up people's mind. They make them weak, first of all. They always put you on fast. People don't just come. Even in Christ Embassy, they say they have healing school. And in the healing school, they condition you. They condition you in the healing school. They tell you to do something. And since people are desperate, Suleiman does the same thing. Suleiman, he uses not just familiar spirit, but Suleiman uses what do you call it? Suleiman uses planted informants and arranged miracles. Suleiman uses arranged miracles and familiar spirit. So all those guys, Suleiman, Okafo, Igila, all those are just rascals. They shouldn't even have anything to do with Christianity. I mean, things are bad, guys. Things are bad, guys. Things are bad. Things are bad. Okay, let's see another one here.
My friend. Your friend from where? From the same church where we attended before. The same church? From which church? Oh yeah? Yes, sir. Never said? The same church. This is the deliverance. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? These are the ones that are living inside the church. Blessed, the front like that, nothing is happening. Or anything like that. Okay.
You see what? They are just messing up somebody's mother, somebody's wife. I mean, they just disgrace. They just spoiling the name and reputation of this woman. She has a life. She probably has a business. She has her children. She has a family. I mean, they're just messing her up. And why should we have to put it on national television? How will she relate to her neighbors? How will she be to be able to be a human being in the society anymore? How will she go to the market? You know how people could be, demonized in Africa, how people could be stigmatized. Pastors are stigmatizing people now. And you see the way he's doing his hand? He's doing his hand exactly like Chris does it, exactly like Joshua does it. That is hypnotism. You see, he's bringing his hand that way so that the woman, exactly how he's doing his hand, that's how the woman behaves. You see him bending down? You see he's doing his hand like that? That is as control. That is controlling people with your hand. That is sensory perceptive. That is using sensory to, to monitor and to control people's mind. This is occultism in the church. And it's a pity that people don't know these things. This is occultism. And when you try to resist this, it will even make it worse for you. Okay, this lady is trying to resist this, but it's making it worse for her and messing up her mind. And when you are trying to, to disagree, then they make it worse as if you are even more demon possessed. So things are bad. Things are bad, guys. So this guy is copying TB Joshua and Chris. He's using extrasensory perception too. They are using witchcraft. So these people are messing up the lives of women. See what they are doing to this woman. If I were the husband or the sister or the brother, I'm going to take them to court for this. They are making her look silly and crazy. They are making her to look as if she's lost her mind. Just useless human beings. These women left their houses, they were okay. But they come to church, you make them look, to look as if they are crazy. You see what the man is doing with his hand? And the lady is repeating what he is doing. You see, he's the one perceptioning to behave like that. You see his hand? You see his hand? You see what he's doing? That is extrasensory perception. That is taking away the will of the woman. And now they're going to make her to fall. Because that is taking away the will of the woman and subjecting her to his control. This is abuse of the highest order. This is what Joshua is doing. This is what Chris is doing. This is what a lot of these people are doing. You see, until she falls, you see. And this is just to show that they have power. The woman doesn't want to fall, but he's using his perception, the control, to make her fall. Go and look at the thing I showed you about how this is being done by Russian extrasensoric perception specialists as well. You know, this is witchcraft. And people are thinking this is the power of God. Our people are just being taken advantage of. Gullible people. You see, she is repeating what he is doing. You see, he is the one bringing her down. You see, he is the one doing that. What is that? That's witchcraft. That is witchcraft. That is hypnotism going on. He is hypnotizing the poor lady. She doesn't even know what is happening. She doesn't know what is happening to her. She doesn't remember it. And that is what that actor, or whatever you call him, Jim what? Jim Ike was talking about. He didn't remember what was happening. And I'm so grieved that even Christian pastors, even ministers in Nigeria don't even know what these people are doing, that this is extrasensory. We are so ignorant, we are so uneducated in that sense, that we don't know that this is actually hypnotism. This is ESP. I mean, God cannot be, useless seeing people like this making a show like this. And these so-called fathers are keeping quiet. These so-called fathers are just these people, these so-called pastors, they belong in prison. This is sorcery. This is sorcery happening here. You see, why is it doing all these things? This is sorcery. This is messing up the whole life of somebody just because someone has a problem. No. It's too much. It's too much. Something has to be done urgently and drastically to stop this madness in our churches. Something has to be done urgently to stop all this madness. This is madness. It's just madness. It's just madness. This is just madness. This is not Christianity at all. What these people are doing to people is a disgrace. And in fact, the government is supposed to intervene in this thing. If they don't intervene, by the time I get to Nigeria, they are in trouble. Because I am going to start a whole organization to challenge them and take them to court. These people have got to be taken to court. They have to be, they have to be prosecuted for all these things. They've got to be prosecuted for it. The girl doesn't even know what is happening. This guy doesn't know what is happening. He doesn't have an idea what they want from her. Okay, let's hear the voice. What are they saying?
Your feet. Inside your trouser. Inside your trouser. Inside. Who are you? Who are you?
This is just rubbish. You see, they are manipulating and making her to say something from. Can you remove the voice? The lady is grieved. Slapping her. Why? Why should they be slapping her just because she would not talk? And you are saying this is deliverance? And you are saying I am the one that is Antichrist? By exposing this kind of people, how can I be Antichrist? These people need to be exposed and challenged. They need to be taken to jail. It is the pastors, these pastors who are demon-possessed, not these poor women who are demon-possessed. It is these pastors who are demon-possessed, beating somebody in the name of deliverance. Just because she's not abiding by your injunctions. I mean, this guy belongs in prison. Do you see how many people holding the poor girl down, breaking her hand, twisting her arms? She is defenseless. And they are doing this in the name of, thank God, she is about to beat him back. Because she is mad. And they will be saying it is demon, but she's just angry. She's just angry. She is frustrated. These are not men of God. Open your eyes, Africans. Open your eyes, Nigerians. These are not men of God. These are crooks. These are people abusers. These are people molesters. These are not pastors. They are people molesters. They are. Why is he beating her like that? Why is he beating her like that? He is a people molester. This is not a pastor. This is a human molester right here. This is a human molester. Apart from the fact that he's using witchcraft, he's a human molester. This man needs to be prosecuted. He belongs in jail. This man belongs in jail. This is human abuse going on in that church. This is not a church, my dear. This is not a church, everybody. Every one of us must raise our voices against these practices in the name of deliverance. We must raise our voices. And all the men are looking. Nobody is challenging this charlatan. Nobody is challenging this charlatan. Nobody is challenging this charlatan, for Christ's sake. She is just standing for herself. She is standing for, the poor girl is standing for herself, trying to defend herself against all these men. And they are accusing her of demons, of being demon possessed. I mean, this is horrible. I'm sorry. This is horrible. This shouldn't be happening. In the 21st century, this shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't be happening. I'm sorry, guys. This shouldn't be happening. If you are okay that this is happening in your own country, if you are okay that this is happening, and you're calling it Holy Spirit, I don't know the Holy Spirit that you know. I don't know the kind of God that you are serving. This shouldn't be happening, guys. This shouldn't be happening in the 21st century. I'm sorry. This shouldn't be happening. All these so-called pastors belong in jail. They have to go to prison. They need to be in prison right now. So lawyers are supposed to begin to arise and challenge these people and take them to court. We need to immediately begin to challenge these people and take them to court. This is an abuse. This is abuse. This abuse happening here. There is nothing like God here at all. This is taking advantage of victims, of poor people. You said somebody was explaining what is deliverance. Do you want to show that or not now? So I'm sorry. This thing shouldn't be happening. Yes, please.
When you have a mark, for example, you have a tribal mark on your face. You are from Ghana, you are Yoruba, or you are any tribe. Even in America, that mark is there. Am I correct? A Nigerian can identify you there. That is how it is when there's a demonic power. Any country you enter, the demons in that country understand this one is our project. Because they put a mark. That is why Paul said, let no man trouble me if I bear my body the marks of Christ. Because if it's the mark of the enemy, you'll be troubled. Are you ready? We have 4 prayers. In the midst of this prayer, I want you to open your heart up. Because in the midst of this prayers, your deliverance will start. You will take first of all, we are going to handle our foundation. Every evil dedication. Hold on. Do you know one of the things that finished Moses? Yeah? Moses was dedicated when he was 3 months old. That was when Pharaoh's daughter dedicated him. Pharaoh's daughter carried him in the river, lifted him up, and said, his name shall become Moses. The name Moses is an Egyptian name. It means I carried him from water. I carried him what? From water. Check all the life of Moses. All his major problems was around water. It was when he ran from Egypt, he sat down by the well of water. That is why he saw his wife called Zipporah. He was fighting a battle. When he got to water, he made the major confrontation. What was the water? The Red Sea. And God said to him, speak to the rock. He smote the rock. What came out? Why? It was his dedication.
Stop this one. You see what he's here saying? You have a mark. And he's using the example of, are you joining me? Me. He's using the example of Paul. And he says it is demon. When you get to America, you get to Canada, they will see all kind of extra biblical explanations that doesn't have anything to do with the Bible. They just quote some out of context. Use the Bible out of context. They don't even, why should you even be preaching about Satan? Why is Satan what we are called to preach? Which one is this one?
Now, that enemy that is troubling you within you, that is living right inside you, that enemy must submit.
He himself is looking like a sick guy.
Keep your hands on your chest. Now, spirit husband, submit quickly. Come out. Watch out, watch out. Catch fire now. I said, come out. Catch fire. Watch out. Woman, receive your deliverance totally.
This?
Or your spirit wife. Or your submit quickly. On the road. Catch fire. Spirit wife.
See, what these guys are talking about, there is nothing like that. Nothing like spirit wife, nothing like spirit husband. These guys are charlatans. These guys are sick people. These people, they are not preachers. They don't deserve to be respected. They are charlatans. These guys are, they are manipulators. Can't you see? These guys are building their empire on people's misfortunes. These guys are building their empire on people's tragedies. These people are taking advantage of people, gathering people's money. Making, disgracing people, messing up people's destinies, people's lives. How do you expect these people to live after this? How do you expect them to walk about in that city? And they are mostly women, you know. And what they are saying doesn't even make sense. So what is it saying? What are they saying now?
I command you to catch fire! Unclean spirit, spirit of failure, spirit of violence, spirit of madness,
Look,
unclean
stop.
spirit, spirit of...
Don't remove the voice. Even if it is unclean spirit, why all the noise? Do you need to help Jesus? Out! Fire! Or why the noise? Why the frenzy? Why do you need to create a frenzy? Why do you need to create a frenzy and put people under frenzy attack, under hypnotism? Why do you need to mess up people's mind before God will perform? If God is God, why can't he just perform and deliver people? If Jesus is Lord, why can't he just do things that normal way? Why should he first of all mess up people first? And my country people don't see anything wrong in this? I think it's high time we all begin to raise our voices against all these malpractices, all these atrocities, all these abuses. And if you think that this is only happening in these sublime churches, no, it's happening. They are happening in mainline churches, mainstream churches in Africa. All the Papa G.O.s, most of them are doing things like this. Maybe not quite like this, but a lot of them are doing all kind of extra biblical practices. Please get me my message. It's a disgrace. It's so bad. It's too bad what is happening these days. And today I still got a letter from. Let's see the topic. I still got a letter today. Somebody telling me that I have become a matter of concern in pastor circles, and all the pastors now, they don't know what to do with me. Even people I'm not showing their videos, and people who don't belong to the churches, other people who are just pastors, regular pastors, they are also angry at me because of what I'm doing. So all the pastors are are angry at me, and I've become like I said, all of us are supposed to be doing what I'm doing. It's a pity that I have to be the only one doing this. All of us have to be doing this. We have got to cleanse the African church from syncretism. And syncretism, today's topic is syncretism in relations to deliverance. Let's see my point, please. There is an overemphasis on deliverance going on in the African churches. I mean, you see what you say. I don't even need to say anything about that. They are now glorifying, is it clear enough to read? They are now glorifying the living dead. They call them as ancestral spirits and demonic spirits instead of Jesus. Most churches now glorify, even when they don't have all this spectacle happening, you still see them speaking more about Satan, about enemy, about spirits than they are speaking about Jesus. Most churches in Africa, they are no more preaching Jesus, they are preaching Satan. They are preaching enemy. The greatest product now that is being preached in African churches is enemy. Is Satan. That is the product they are selling. Not Jesus. Not the kingdom of God. They are selling enemy. The enemy is their product. Satan, demons is their product. Miracle, deliverance, that's their product. Not Jesus. So next one, help do it. Fix it. Yeah. 1 Samuel 28. 1 Samuel 28, 7 to 9. Then Saul said to his servants, "Find me a woman who is a medium." This is what is already been condemned in the Bible. These practices that our people go and have, if anything. If these things that are being practiced in our African churches today, these things we are practicing, has already been condemned in the Bible. In 1 Samuel 28, 7 to 9, the Bible says, "Then Saul said to his servants, 'Find me a woman who is a medium, that I may go to her and inquire of her.' And his servant said to him, 'In fact, there is a woman who is a medium at Endor.' So Saul disguised himself and put on other clothes. And he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night, and he said, 'Please conduct a seance,'" you see. This is the seance. This is extrasensory thing I'm talking about. This is what is condemned. A seance is being conducted today in the churches because of the seances. These are the ESP. This extrasensory perception happening. This extrasensory perception happening in the churches. This is extrasensory perception happening in the churches. So, you see, it is condemned here. And it is called by its name here. These are what are happening in the churches, not deliverance. It is extra sense. It's a seance. Extra sense is what is happening. It's sensory. It is sensory. It is extra sensory. It is using sensory effect, working on the 5 senses of human and coming from extra, manipulation of the senses. That is what is happening in our churches. It's called extrasensory perception. Hypnotism. Spiritism. It's called spiritism. This woman is a spiritist. It's a medium. What we are having in the churches today is exactly what is happening here in this prescription. In fact, there is a woman who is a medium. Today, it is the pastors who are the mediums. All these people are not pastors, they are mediums. They are doing the work of medium or sorcerer. This medium is the same as sorcerer or witch. What our pastors are practicing, it is witchcraft. Extrasensory perception, ESP. Sorcery is what we are practicing. You see, it is through senses, through manipulation of senses, that they get all those manifestations and deliverances and miracles. So it says, "Please conduct a seance for me, and bring up for me the one I shall name to you." You see, they are calling up somebody by the extrasensory perception, by the spiritism, by calling of spirits. So what was supposed to happen here, normally the way they do it is this. I'm going to illustrate it. Yeah, can you come? Let's say you come to me to say you have your relative who is dead. Can you come? So let's say your sister or your mother died. I am the medium. I'm the powerful man. And you say, please help me call my sister to come from the grave so that she will tell us the situation why she died. Or what happened to her, or who killed her. It's all about who. It's not what. It's who killed her. So she has to come and tell the story. So what happens is, it is spiritism. How does it work? The evil spirit that they consult with will come. It's a spirit that will come. Not the woman. But the spirit will put on the picture. The picturesque image of the woman that is dead. So the evil spirit will come looking like your sister, but normally will appear to you from the side or from the back or something to make you think that she's the one, but so that you will not be able to look and see exactly that she's the one. So it's a spirit that is contacting her image and speaking, like imitating her voice. So this woman who is a spiritist and a medium knows exactly what is happening. So that is familiar spirit. What is familiar spirit? That spirit is familiar with the person or with the spirit, with the image of the person we're talking about. It's a familiar spirit. It's pretending to be that person. It's mimicking it. It's copying it. Duplicating the image, the personality of another person. It's familiar spirit. It is also called the spirit of divination. So all those people going to say, I go to your village, I see in your village, they are using familiar spirit to go to your village. They may name the name of your village and your money, how much is in there, what you are wearing. God doesn't have any business about your village or what happened there 100 years ago or what you are wearing, what you are your bank account. God doesn't have any business with that. That is divination. That is familiar spirit. So in this case, you go away. Be careful. That's the version. So you go away from there. So this case, this woman didn't know that it was Saul, the king, that came, because he had backslidden. He was trying to call on God. God had shut him down, so he wanted to use evil spirit. Sorcerer, witchcraft, medium. But God wanted to teach him a lesson as well. So he wanted to call this, because he thought that this medium was he had the ability to actually call the dead person. No, wait, the actual dead person. But what he didn't know is that the person that is coming is not the person, is a familiar spirit that is mimicking and duplicating her image. So, but what God did was, God himself stopped the familiar spirit from appearing. God intervened, stopped the familiar spirit from coming, and sent from heaven. And sent the real Samuel. He wanted to sift Samuel. Normally what will happen is that a spirit, one spirit. So let's say you are the medium. The spirit that comes to tell you is the spirit you work with. If she comes, it is the same spirit that will come and mimic her relative. Come, can you come? Or you come, any one of you come? One by one. So let's say this is another person you wanted to, the same spirit that you are familiar with, will also come and mimic her. If another relative comes, that same spirit will come and mimic another relative. But it is all one spirit, familiar spirit, and this familiar spirit is known to you. But this time around, the spirit didn't come. And instead of the spirit to come and mimic, she didn't recognize who came. So she was frightened. This is not my spirit. This is not my divination spirit that came. This is not my familiar spirit. I'm not familiar with this one. So she was frightened and said, oh, a greater power is here. She was thinking this is another spirit. But what actually happened is that God shut down that spirit and sent the real Samuel. And Samuel came. Come, you are the Samuel. The real Samuel came. And Samuel came and said, why are you, and started to speak the truth. Then she got to know that, oh, real Samuel is real, because she knows that doesn't happen. And the king also got to know that Samuel is here. This is no more divination, because she is shocked, she is perplexed. Now God has exposed the king, exposed the witchcraft. So this is, and this thing was banned. By the order of Samuel, witchcraft was banned. Spiritism was banned. Medium practice, sorcery was banned in Israel. But now Samuel himself came. So this is what is happening. And now the church in Africa is going back to this spiritism, and is going back to this sorcery practice, witchcraft practice, using the name of God, right? Doing it right in the church. It is horrible what is happening. Thank you, guys. Let's go back to the notes. To the scripture. 1 Samuel 28, 7 to 9. So, he said, please conduct a seance for me, and bring up for me the one I shall name to you. Then the woman said to him, look, you know what Saul has done, how he has cut off the mediums and the spiritists. He didn't know that it's Saul himself who came from the land. Why is it that the mediums and spiritists were cut off from the land? Because it is abomination. What these pastors are doing in the name of deliverance is abomination. These people are not men of God. They are supposed to be prohibited by law. Even in the Old Testament, they were prohibited. They were bound by the law. Right now, all of us are supposed to be raising up our voices and call for the banning of people like Igila, people like Okafor, people like Suleiman, people like Joshua, people like Chris. All of them are supposed to be run out of town. What happened? When?
Just now. It's back.
But I told you.
It's ego said it's there. It's there.
It's not that the ego is electricity. You're only saying a computer.
It's there.
So how many? I'm sorry, guys. I heard it was interrupted. So what I'm saying is that a lot of the people that are doing all these things are supposed to be run out of town. Look at the scripture here. The Bible here, hello, the scripture here. The Bible here, in the Bible, even in the Old Testament, these people who are doing what these pastors are doing, these so-called pastors are doing, they were prohibited in the Bible. They were prohibited from the city. They were banned. The government banned them. And this is a shadow of things to come. This is for us to know that God is against this thing. This is an abomination. Running after spirits, spiritists, talking to spirits like these pastors are doing, that is what the mediums do. That's what the sorcerers do. They talk to spirits. That is prohibited. Even in the Old Testament, they are always conducting interviews with spirits. That is spiritism they are practicing. And that, you see what the witch doctor herself, the medium herself, the witch, she said, look, you know what Saul has done, how he has cut off the mediums and the spiritists. This is from society they were cut off. Talk less of from church. These people must be cut off from the church of the Lord Jesus Christ. We must cleanse the church of these people who are messing up the name of the Lord, who are using witchcraft to become the topic of the day in Africa. The most popular topic in African churches these days is demons, spirits, deliverance, fall down and die, enemy, and things like that. These are spiritists. They are not pastors. They are not Christian pastors. They are not God servants. They are agents of Satan. They are sorcerers. They are mediums. They are not men of God. And these are the people who are being celebrated in Africa. These are the people who are being exalted in high esteem in Africa. All people go to them, from the high to the least. Government officials, millionaires go to them to look for answers. They don't know that they are being deceived. So these people are mediums. The so-called pastors are mediums. Deliverance ministers, most of them are mediums. You don't need a deliverance minister. There is nothing like deliverance minister in the New Testament. No deliverance minister in the New Testament. And no deliverance service in the New Testament. Deliverance service is illegal in the New Testament. Even in the Old Testament here. If any Christian has the authority to cast out demons, any Christian, Jesus said, in my name you will cast out demons. Any Christian can do that. You don't need any service for that. You don't need any minister, special minister for that. These are deceptions that have hijacked the African church. This is spiritism they are using. ESP, extrasensorial perception. That is deception. So he said they have been cut off, mediums and spiritists were chased away from the land. Why then do you lay a snare for my life to cause me to die? Whenever you try to find a go-between between man and God, whenever somebody is saying, I am the one in the name of God who will do this for you, this is a go-between. This is like a mediator between man and God. That is witchcraft. That is idolatry. It's paganism. There is no mediator between man and God anymore. You have direct relationship with your Father. You don't need any man to be doing deliverance. That is witchcraft. That's what witch doctors do. In Christianity, we don't do that. No go in between man and God anymore. That is spiritism. What we are seeing is spiritism. Spiritism and sorcery. Witchcraft. That's what is being practiced in our churches. We're going to show one of them again. How we are doing, get ready. Even if you call them pastors, GOs, etc., they are practicing sorcery. Medium. They are mediums. He said, you see, what we read said, find me a woman who is a medium. And today it's not just women, it's the pastors, the GOs, the big guys. Find me a medium that I may go to her and inquire of her. Not inquire of God. Anytime, you say, come. What he's saying is here is, where is it? Find me a woman. Are you seeing her? Find me a woman who is a medium. So God is here in heaven, and this is a woman who is a medium, that I may go to inquire of her. She is an in-between between me and God. That is what God is again. That is medium. Medium means somebody or some through which God will speak to me. Someone through which God will bless me. So all those things that we are practicing today, going to see man of God, going to see, prophet, going to see other, they are not biblical. They were in the Old Testament because the Old Testament was, the Spirit of God was not on everybody. But in the New Testament, it is not biblical. You have direct relationship with God. Nobody should be a go in between you and God anymore. That is medium. We don't use mediums anymore. Anybody can prophesy in the New Testament. God can speak through anybody in the New Testament. God can use anybody to cast out demons in the New Testament. You don't have to have special people, special ministers, special anointing, special UGO, special bishop. You don't need those things anymore. That is medium. That is sorcery. That's witchcraft. You see, he said, find me a woman, show it here. Find me a woman who is a medium, that I may go to her and inquire of her. If you are going to church to get to God through your pastor, you are practicing spiritism. You are practicing medium, sorcery. You shouldn't be having a go in between you and God. You shouldn't be going to church to inquire of your God, to hear of your pastor, to hear for you if you should do something or you shouldn't do something. You shouldn't be going to pastor to inquire of them what you should do. You have the Holy Spirit. The Spirit of God is upon you. It's in you. You don't need to go to anybody. Once you begin to go through somebody, a man or woman or GO or pastor or bishop, that is spiritism. It is sorcery and witchcraft. That is what was prohibited in Israel. Is there any video that can illustrate these things? Find me a woman who is a medium, that I may go to her. When you begin to go to somebody instead of to God, you are practicing medium. That person is a medium. Okay? That I may go to her and inquire of her. You shouldn't be inquiring of man. That is what our people used to do. In my Yoruba native language, we have what they call Ifa, the Ifa priest. You have to go to the Ifa priest or the voodoo priest or the juju priest or the witch doctor, and he will bring a plate out. You inquire of them. That is witchcraft. When you begin to inquire of a man, to inquire of some spirit for you, that is witchcraft. Whenever you have problem in my old ancient tradition, Africa, you go to a man, a powerful man, a voodoo man, a witchcraft, to inquire of him. That's exactly what was happening here. Whenever you need to go and inquire from a man, instead of directly from God, yourself, is without any man in between. Whenever a man stands between, that is witchcraft and sorcery. That I may go to her and inquire of her. That is what is practiced in African churches today in the name of Christianity. You have some videos to show that? Yeah, let's see some of these videos to see that we will see that it is these people are going to these churches. Why? Because they want the man of God to be the source of the blessing, to be the person through whom they are blessed. The man of God is the medium. Men of God in Africa now are being treated like mediums, like sorcerers, like spiritists. They are the go-between God and man. That is what they are doing. It is witchcraft. It is prohibited. It is not biblical. We are going to see some of these videos here. Okay, let's see one here.
So, the thing that I'm man, didn't they talk?
Yes.
Okay. Watch now. Stop and stay down. Why? Okay. Close the eyes.
There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power.
You see, they started singing immediately. You know, the way you see the manipulation going on. The guy, the witch doctor, he's a witch doctor here. He did something horrible. He hit the guy. The guy lost his conscience. See what he's doing? He's using his hand. See, show what he's doing right here. He's using his hand to manipulate. Go back a little bit. You will see that this is witchcraft going on right here. You see what he's doing with his hand? To try to use his hand to manipulate, and the guy. You don't need these are extrasensory perception. This is like the black magic here. This is like the babalawo. This is like the witch doctor. Let it go back a little bit again. This is, and people are singing. When they are singing like that, for you not to notice what they are doing, for you not to notice the witchcraft that is going on. So they are singing and they are commenting, saying, oh, this is what is happening. Oh, the man of God is doing this now. The man of God is doing this. The man of God is doing this. So that you will not use your brain. That is how they are manipulating you. So that you don't think. You only think what they suggest to you. What is this going on in the church? This is witchcraft. This is medium. This is sorcery. And this guy, this OPC guy, OPM guy, he gets people to come in the night to be praying some prayers in the middle of the night. That is witchcraft. This is witchcraft. You see what's happening? This is witchcraft and sorcery in the church. He's the one telling people to bring coconut and everything, and he's packaging his own thing through doing some schools and some good work so that people will not suspect that he's doing witchcraft. So he's using the good works to blindfold the people. But he's not the only one. All of them are like that. This guy is a witch. He's a witch. They are all doing witchcraft. But he's not the only one. Most of these people are the same. Thank you. Let's go back to my notes. Horrible things is happening in the name of Jesus, in the name of Christianity. Churches today are now preaching demons. Go to any church in Nigeria, Redeemed, Winners, what? MFM, all of them are preaching demons. Somebody say, oh, but Oyedepo or Papa, Adeboye, they don't just preach demons only sometimes, they preach other things. Well, they preach other things, but When you have a glass of water that is 99% clean water, and you put just 1 millimeter of poison in it, you spoil the whole water. Churches today are now preaching demons, enemies instead of God. That is the most important. Those are the most important topics in our African churches today. These are the packages. These are the products they are selling. It is not the word of God, not Jesus, not God. It is enemy and demons they are selling. People go to church as they go to mediums and as they go to witch doctors. That's how they treat all these men of God. You don't need men of God. You are a man of God. You don't need any man of God to get to God. You don't need to go to any man of God on Sunday in church. Find your God in your own house every day, every minute with you in your own house. And his servant said to him, in fact, there is a woman who is a medium at Endor. It's a location. This is what Jesus was saying in John chapter 4. In that day, from verse 20 to 24, John 4, 20 to 24. In that day, I will tell you, you will no longer go to this mountain to worship God. You will not need to go to any mountain or to Jerusalem to worship God. It's location. Anything that is attached to location, that is what witchcraft do. They need a location, a special place, a holy place. That was in the Old Testament when the temple was the holy place. But Jesus came and said the temple of God is you now. No more holy place, special place for God to be residing there. Oh, this is the church, this is where only God is residing. You must get to church for you to see God. You don't need to go to church to see God these days. You need to find God in you. He is with you all the time. If you want to go to church, you just want to go and bless others. You just want to go and fellowship with brethren. You just want to go and minister, and but you don't go to meet God. When you begin to do that, it's the same as witchcraft. You see, and there is a woman who is a medium. That's what people say in Africa. There is a powerful man of God there. Have you been to OPM? Have you been to Salvation? There is a strong, powerful sorcerer there. There is a strong, powerful man of God. As you go to that place, there is it's all about a human being. That is sorcery. That is witchcraft. That is medium. When the emphasis is on one powerful man at a location, that is the same juju. That is the same witchcraft. You didn't bring those pictures of the juju man and who used to start. That's the same juju man. Today is the pastor. When it has to do with a particular location, but in New Testament, God is everywhere. And it's in you too. You don't need a particular location to go to find God. God is everywhere with you. God is your Father. You see? This is it. Can you make it? This is it. This is the way we choose to be in Africa. People have problems, all these problems. The witch doctor is a conduit to God. You see God here? And the witch doctor, people have to go to witch doctor. People cannot go to God. That is idol worshiping. That is paganism. This is what we are doing today. Now he's a pastor. He's seeing the same people in problems. And now he's the GO and the bishop that is the conduit to God. This is not biblical. This is paganism. This is sorcery. This is medium. So he now becomes the medium. Nobody should be here. You should be God by yourself. Let's see the witch doctor. The witch doctor was the medium before. Now the medium is the bishop. And the GO. Let's go back to my notes. You see, these are the things that, these are the things that shouldn't be happening. These things should not be happening. Is it where I am? No, go back. Churches today are now preaching demons, enemies instead of God. People go to churches as they go to mediums. They go to men of God. They go to bishops, pastors, as they go to witch doctors. And his servants, and the servant of Saul said to him, in fact, there is a woman who is a medium at Endor. Whenever they are telling you there's a powerful man of God, forget about it. That is witchcraft. They should be telling you there is a powerful God who is inside of you. There is a powerful God who is in your house. There is a powerful God who lives with you. There is a powerful God, the one you know. There is a powerful God that died for you. There is a powerful God that shed his blood for you. You don't need a man when you have it. Okay. Contrary to scriptural teachings, there is talk in our churches today of demons becoming spirit husbands and wives. Stop. Now look at me. All this talk about spirit husbands and spirit wives, where are they coming from? First of all, you must know that they are not scriptural. That is coming from the power of suggestions. Come, please. How does the power of suggestion work? How does the power of suggestion work? The power of suggestion is when you keep on hearing something. When you keep on hearing things, to the ship she is, no, show the good really what. She's telling us something all the time. From the time she was born. Spirit husband, spirit husband, spirit husband. Oh, you have any spirit husband. Oh, you have miscarriage, spirit husband. Oh, you have menstruation, spirit husband. Spirit husband. When you keep on suggesting to something, she doesn't believe reality anymore. Listen, thank you. You stand up, keep on standing there. Look at me. This is philosophy. This is real life, all right? This is science, okay? This is proven. Our mind doesn't differentiate between truth and false. The brain doesn't have that capability. You don't have the capability to automatically distinguish. So if I tell you this is a pen, you believe it's a pen. But you know it's not a pen that I'm holding. But if I tell her this is a pen, and everybody is saying it's a pen, you will believe it. People, you believe only two things. Unless, apart from research and facts. That's why the only basis for belief must be truth. Based on facts and research. Otherwise, people only believe two things. One, what they are being told. What they are being told continuously, what they continuously hear, what they are regularly. So it's your mother who is telling you that. Your society telling you that. Your sister, your schoolmate, everybody. You believe it. That is, we only believe what we hear continuously until we disprove it by facts and truth. But because she has been hearing these things so many times, she doesn't believe the truth anymore. She cannot identify the truth. She's identifying only what she was told, what was programmed in her mind. So that's why all Africans are like that. They are believing that they are demon spirit, mommy water spirit, spirit husband, spirit wife. They believe that's what they are known to. They have been exposed to. That's why when you go to anywhere in the world, no country, no continent apart from Africa where they believe in spirit husband and spirit wives. In fact, it used to be a place, it used to be a time that Yoruba people never used to believe that. It just started 20, 30 years ago. It used to be just the riverine people who used to believe that. People from a river area. But now, the churches have made these things popular. Everybody is believing because they are telling them in the church. And another reason why you believe things is either you are hearing it all the time, so environment condition you to believe, or number two, people you respect, people you hold in high esteem, authority figures. When you believe people as authority figure, you don't question what they say to you. You believe it, even if it's not the truth. You don't know if it's true or it's not true. Your mind cannot differentiate if it's true or it's not true, but especially if you have accepted these people as men of God, as authority figure in your life. That is why all that mess is going on in Africa. People in Africa put all these men of God in high esteem, and we put them as authority figure, and we begin to just believe everything they tell us, even though it's not consistent with the word of God. It's not in line with the Bible. It's not Christianity. Anytime you hear that when you drink in the dream, that there is an interpretation for it. When you eat in the dream, there is an interpretation for it. If I ask her now, or anybody, all of them, How many times do they drink in the dream? Or what does that mean? They say just rubbish, just some dream, bad dream, that's or good dream. They don't even care. Or they had sex in the dream, forget about it. They move on. But if an African has sex in the dream, or have drink in the dream, or eat in the dream, it's all some demons. Nobody even thinks of that in normal countries. Because it's the power of suggestion. So all those things that, I have somebody making love to me, I have spirit husband, spirit wife, is all rubbish. It's not even biblically sound. You have been conditioned to become like that. You remember a story in the Bible when, just for you to see the way power of suggestion, telepathy works. No, not telepathy, telephonia, or what do they call it? Telegonia, we call it telegonia in Russian. Telephonic, telegonia in Russian, but they need to know it. I think it's telephonic, yeah? Telephonic power. What does that mean? You remember the situation with, I think somebody will write it right there in the comments. Yeah, you remember the situation with Jacob. When Jacob was, and Laban, they were having conflict about the sheep and the number of animals that he was supposed to. So he was giving too little. So he did telephonic manipulation. He position all the animals so that when they are mating and they are viewing in the view of telephonic. Yeah, it's telephonic. So they are mating in the view of some species and things. So that is what happens to people. When they begin to tell you things, it becomes to appear in your dream. You begin to believe it. It is telephonic manipulation. It is manipulation of your senses. It is telephonics. It is manipulation of the senses. It's like ESP too. It's like extrasensory perception. So all these spirit husband, spirit wife, those are telephonic realities that are happening to you. They are conditioning you. It's a power of suggestion. Don't hear anybody that tells you anything, any demon, anything. When you believe them, you begin to perform them. You begin to manifest them. They begin to happen to you as you believe. As a man thinks in his mind, so he is. Whenever you begin, when they condition you like that, you begin to think like that, your life becomes like that. You program yourself to become as you think. It's telephonic manipulation. It's extrasensory perception. Okay, let's go back. So, contrary to scriptural teaching, there is in our churches today more talks about demons becoming spirit husbands and wives. That is rubbish. It's not biblical. Those things were there always in times of old, in our African tradition, not from the Bible. But they have nothing to do with Christianity. And he said, please conduct a seance. You see? Conduct a seance. It's something to be conducted. These are spiritists who conduct this thing. Just like people say, conduct deliverance for me. Conduct prophecy for me. Get some word from God. Help me see the future. Conduct a seance for me and bring up for me the one I shall name to you. It is manipulation of the senses and the nature, using the power of nature. It's the power of suggestion, telephonic manipulation of the mind. And you begin to believe it and think like that, then things begin to happen to you. That is why in our language they said, witchcraft, juju know they catch white man. Juju know they catch Oyibo man. Why? Because they don't think like that. It doesn't catch them. Because they have not been conditioned like that. Okay? Notice that Saul asked for a seance. That's extrasensoric. To be conducted for him. That is what TB Joshua and Chris does. You remember where TB Joshua is using that? Can you show us? Look for those videos where I talk about Chris was doing that also. And TB Joshua. Look for those videos. Whatever they are doing, that is, Pastor Chris and TB Joshua and that Jeremiah and, Okafo, all those people are using extrasensory perception. They are using hypnotism on people. And our people are too gullible, uninformed, uneducated to know these things. And, even Professor Professor Pella, who was doing extrasensoric magic, he knew it, he practiced it, and he said it, he confirmed it. That he mentioned those two names, that Chris and Joshua are using extrasensoric perception too. Professor Pella said that. Huh? The son, he's a Pella too. And so others are using today, what others in the church today are using, so they are just mesmerizing people. But our people don't know the difference. They will say it works for me. There's a miracle that happened. I went there, this miracle, as if testimony is a basis for belief. Testimony alone is not the basis for belief. Because anybody, when you go to witch doctor also, you have testimony. Testimony is not a basis for belief. It is truth that is the basis for belief. Okay, we're going to see some, I hope we're going to see some videos right now. I'm going to show you, some videos of how these men that some people have come to respect, are practicing witchcraft. The other day when I said Joshua is using extrasensory perception and witchcraft, you know what they told me? We already saw it just now. What they told me is, okay, but why do you say Joshua is using extrasensory perception? But the people who go to Joshua, white people go there now. But you think all white people are thinking people? You don't know that they are foolish white people also? Ignorant white people? They are all everywhere. Ignorant white people are all everywhere, just like you have ignorant black people. So the fact that they are going there doesn't mean that they are informed. They are just desperate people. Ignorant people. Sorry, is it, can we show it? Please.
Are possible with God, and He performs these wonders as expressions of His
Remove the voice
for us.
You see, they always have a voice over. They always have a voice over. Somebody talking to condition you so that you don't question what's going on. So that is the power of suggestion always. So they are like explaining to you what's happening as if you don't have your own brain. They take away your brain so that you don't see what is happening. You don't see with your own eyes. You even disprove the evidence of your own eyes. They will be telling you what is happening. They will be suggesting to you. See what it's doing? To distract you. Go back just a little bit. To distract you from witchcraft that is going on. You see, when he's doing his hand like that, the stomach of the man is moving. You see the hand? And you see what is happening. Keep on playing. This is telegonic. This is extrasensory perception. You see, you see what he's doing? You see his hand? And then the body of the man will be moving. That is extrasensory perception. He's using perception, the power of extrasensory witchcraft, to lift the body, to move, to affect the body of the person. You see the hand, the leg. When he's doing the leg like this, the leg of the man also will begin to shake. And then the man will begin to use the leg. Because that is witchcraft. That is extrasensory. Anybody can do this. This is being done. I've shown you other videos of how Russians and other people are doing it. This is why the man will now stand up. Because he is using his body to superimpose his witchcraft on, the man lifted up the head. He's using the witchcraft, to superimpose his witchcraft spirit to affect the body of the man. You see what's doing? That is extra. But our people, you see the way they are shouting and jumping, they don't know the difference. If it is in the name of Jesus, you just need to say in the name of Jesus, that is all. Then some people are telling me it is just a method, different method. Oh, God can use different method. You are gullible by God. This is not about method. This is witchcraft. This is hypnotism. It is not about method. It is the spirit behind it. Evil spirit is walking through that guy. You call Pastor Chris. He is demon possessed. He's using evil spirit. He is under the influence. He's under influence. Let's go back. You see, but they don't want you to think about it. Instead of allowing you to think about it, they make you to be listening to their explanation. Let's see. Go back. Let me hear theirs. When he's doing his magic, you'll be hearing voices. Let's hear what they are talking.
Continues to listen to the similarities
You see? You see the noise? You see? Some, they are singing. Stop. You see, while he's doing his witchcraft, they put music, Christian music, so that you don't think, so that you'll be thinking it's anointing. Then they put in voice to explain to you what he's doing, as if it's you can't see anything by yourself, as if that is manipulation. Think, people. Think. Sorry. Go. Let's find another one. Show me, Jare. Don't be carried away. You are here on the duty. You should be watching what is happening. Let's see another one. I'm so. At least history will be a record that I've done my best. History will bear me record that I didn't keep quiet. History will bear record that at least there was one person who decided to speak. History will bear record that there is somebody who decided to stand for the truth. Okay, come and see this one too. There is another one here. This is Joshua. Can you show it? So
It's all right.
Yes, sir.
Well done.
Thank you.
remove the voice. It's not about the voice now. So what? We will see when you begin to, let's say, pray. It's supposed to be praying for the guy. Let's see the prayer part. Where is it? For the woman. And you see what Joshua will be doing. Joshua will be doing exactly the same thing as this guy was doing. You see the hand of Joshua as well. You see what he's doing. You see, he's using, and then the stomach will be moving. You see the hand manipulation, and you see the body of the woman moving. That is extrasensory. That is using exposing his spirit over the spirit of the lady. This is extrasensory perception. You see his hand? And whenever he moves to, that's where the body of the woman will move to, without anybody touching her. That is influence. That's medium right there. You see the woman moving, and she's always moving in the direction of the hand of the man. They are not showing the man's hand because they are manipulating you, and there will be voice coming. Let's hear the voice. You see? They are explaining to us what is happening. Remove the voice. They are giving voice, explanation, so that you don't think, so that you don't even question what is happening. And they are showing that they are not showing him now, but they will show him. And the movement is all according to the movement of his hand. You see, the reason that it is moving is because he's doing his hand like this. You will see him do the hand like this now. Because that is extrasensory perception. Anybody can do that. That's a special trick. It's under the influence of witchcraft. You see, that's what he's doing with his hand. When is he praying? He's trying to explain, but let's see when he's praying. Where was it in the beginning? Oh, he's going to be doing it now. In the beginning, he was stretching for his hand. Can we see? You see? There's it. He does it all the time. You don't look at all the videos he's doing. It's all the time. It's the same. You see? You see? You see? You see him moving like that? You see him? And the lady is following, moving in that same direction. You see? And then their eyes. You see the eyes? The eyes will be looking right there. And then the body, you see? Please, stop. It's enough. So that is witchcraft in the church. And then the so-called Christians and fathers are not talking. And somebody is saying it's a different method. This is not about method. This is evil spirit. It is medium. It is what is prohibited, what was prohibited in the Old Testament. It is what God instructed Samuel to prohibit. There is real power of God, but we don't need to, manipulate and use power of Satan and be hiding inside the church. Clearly, this has now become a strategy of the so-called men of God to wield their power over their gullible members and over the general public. On the other hand, generational curses are spoken about. That's another problem in African church. They talk about generational curses. And they speak about generational curses with so much authority that is not even backed by the Bible. There is nothing like generational curses anymore in the New Testament. It is prohibited. In Jeremiah, the Bible says what the father has eaten, it will not be said it will be eaten by his children again. What the father has eaten, it will not come over the children's lives. Keep on, we'll show the video later, but let's keep on going. You see, in Exodus, this is where they got the generational curses from. In Exodus 24:6, it says, "You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth." You shall not bow down. You shall not bow down to them nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. So for idolatry, for bowing down to a human being or bowing down to idols, God is jealous. That's what we're doing in Africa. We are bowing down to our men of God. We are bowing down to pastors. We are doing idolatry in churches today. African church is all about this thing that God is prohibiting. Don't make for yourself idol, image. But we have made our men of God the idols and the image. You shall not bow to them and serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity. This is where they got the doctrine from. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation. That is what is called generational curse. That will be generational curse. He said, I'm visiting. He didn't call it a curse. He said, I'm visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. People who hate God, God visits their iniquity, but he's not calling it a curse. But that's where we got it from. That God curses people to the third and fourth generation. But in that same scripture, keep on reading, he said, but, showing mercy to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandment, to 1,000 generations, in the origin, to the 1,000 generations. So God visits iniquity to third and fourth generation, but shows mercy. Once you begin to whom does he show mercy? To those who love me. All these people in churches, they love God now. From the time you begin to love God and keep his commandment, the visitation of iniquity stops. It doesn't go to you or any generation anymore. Once you begin to love God and keep his commandment, it is God now says he will show mercy to you to the next 1,000 generation. But these people are not writing about generational blessing. They are only talking about generational curse. Which is just 3 and 4 generations. But they are supposed to stop once you believe in Christ Jesus and you love him for 1,000 generations. The only thing we should be talking about should be generational blessing. And some of these people, their parents are Christians. And they are still talking about generational curse. Because if your parents believed and loved him and believed in commandment and obeyed his commandment, for the next 1,000 generations they should be blessed. But we are not even talking about that. We are talking about the cause, which is only up to 3 generations. 1,000 blessing, 1,000 generation blessing cancels that. So when next you hear about generational curse, shut them up and tell them, I don't have generational curse, so I have generational blessing. Okay? We are now in Christ Jesus are supposed to be talking about generational blessing. Even in the Old Testament, it's about generational blessing, not generational curse. It is not scriptural. Don't worry. Whenever a pastor wishes to ascertain his authority in a place, he begins to call for deliverance. That is the key. You want to get sheep power, sheep authority, or sheep crowd? You begin to talk about deliverance, healing, and miracles. Even though it's all plastic and manufactured demons. The so-called man of God has replaced the age-old shaman or witch doctor. In Nigeria, the definition of a Christian minister has been lost entirely to this generation. This generation doesn't know what a Christian minister is supposed to be like. We don't even know what it means to be a Christian minister anymore, because the picture that we have all around us doesn't depict a picture of Christian minister. It is shaman. It is, black magic, witch doctors, juju men, babalawo pastors. That is the image of Christian ministers that is in our country today. Yeah. Magic, as in paganism, is now being taken for deliverance, and deliverance services. An average Nigerian cannot tell the difference between magic and miracles, just like we just saw. So what is magic or voodoo? It refers to the saying of, voodoo or magic is when you are saying when you are just speaking a set of words, some certain words, like in the name of Jesus, name of Jesus, name of Jesus, name of Jesus, or blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus, for Holy Ghost fire, Holy Ghost fire. When you are speaking some certain words and expecting some supernatural intervention, that is what magic is. That is why it is not the saying of the name of Jesus, name of Jesus, name of Jesus that makes miracle happen. It is faith in the name of Jesus. We don't use the name of Jesus like magic wand, like a mantra, like a talisman. But that's what people are doing. Name of Jesus, fire, fire, fire. That is magic. They are using the name of Jesus and all those things like magic. So magic is saying a set of words or doing certain set of actions. Certain set of actions. Hold them down. All those things. Those are certain set of actions. Those are magic. Saying certain set of words, some certain set of actions, looking in the eye of the patient and saying, in the name of Jesus, that is magic. In order to control and bend the powers of the nature to do what the person wishes. That's what we're doing in our churches. All our prayers are all magic-based prayers. All the prayers the people are doing in church is all magic. Because they make us to pronounce some set of words and some sayings. Or they make us to do, that is magic. When you have to do some certain actions and words to get some result, that is magic. In Christianity, you just believe your Father. Talk to your Father. Or speak to the situation, speak to the demon. Take it with authority. Use your authority. No frenzy. So in our churches today, people now practice voodoo, juju, in the name of deliverance. What is banned and prohibited in Israel is now being practiced openly in the churches of Africa. Let's see the videos. Oh, God have mercy. God have mercy. Please. God have mercy. Oh, God have mercy. Yeah, we can still go back to the story of that guy. Let's start with this one, then we'll go back to the story of that actor.
Every spirit that was assigned to fight your marriage out like a fire upon your heads. Out today. Out. You must leave them.
You say certain actions, certain words. Out. Out. That is magic. Keep on going. You say, out. Holy Ghost fire, out. In the name of Jesus, out. These are magic. Certain set of words, certain set of actions. That is magic. Keep on going. Okay, hello, next one. Let's show another one before we show the actor. Let's show other, it's all in all these churches. In the name of Jesus, fire of the Holy Ghost, all kind of them. Jesus, blood of Jesus, blood. All those things are just, anytime you need to be pronouncing some, doing some words, action, same words that everybody knows. It's magic. Let's see this.
Shout loud. I say, resurrection power. Fall upon me now. In the name of Jesus.
You see what is happening to them? When you need to be doing all these things, all of them are shaking their heads. All these frenzies things. They are practicing magic. They are thinking they are praying to God. This is not Christianity. This is all magic. When you need to do some certain actions, some certain words, pronouncing some words, and being manipulated like this. This is not Christianity anymore. We don't even know when we have crossed the line. This is frenzy, kind of practice. This is demonic by itself. This is not Christianity. Our people don't even know the difference. And they just do it because they believe. That's why I say people don't believe what is true. People rather believe what the authority tells them or what they continuously hear. What is it saying?
No one knows you now. But before the next power must change, your promotion shall manifest.
You say, stop. You see, he's saying nobody knows them now. Before the next meeting, this was 2 years ago or 1 year ago, and their promotion shall manifest. And the people are believing it. People are doing all the frenzy stuff. If all their promotion has manifested, why is it that they are still living in poverty? Why is it that Nigeria is the same way it is? Why is it that we have not heard of any of them? It's manipulation. It's rubbish. It's manipulation. It's just some smart guys taking advantage of gullible human beings. Show the one with Jim Ike. Let's hear his story, what happened to him, and sad story. People using witchcraft in the church, in the open of day. Please put on the voice so that we will see what is happening. Yeah, put on the volume.
He reveals that a desperate search for a miracle for his then ailing mother led him to the church. He insists he was not paid to make the appearance and that he was taken advantage of.
At that point, truthfully, they told me that there will be a cure in hell. I'll go. You're talking about your mother, So I went. I remember I went there with my security, my sister, my PA, and when we got there was constant insistence. We were upstairs in one room. There was constant insistence that I come to church that day. And I said, well, that wasn't the arrangement. The understanding is that come do what you... Because we kept my mom, we brought her by animals, we kept her in the hospital nearby. So I said, the understanding is that you lay your hands on her and she'll get better. But they said, no, you must come to church. Consequently, the argument won. My sisters forced me and I went to church downstairs. I was there, and when the whole thing about touching people and this stuff was happening, I found it a little laughable, seriously. I'm saying it's on national TV that people can come from home. And I remember my sister pinching me and telling me to stop. I said, come on, man, this charity, is this what we came here for? This no, let's move mommy out of here. Keep looking for medical help. Then we were about to go to South Africa to this gentleman that was recommended to us, a specialist as well. The next thing, the gentleman in question passed, and I looked at him as they had the same look of amusement on my face, and he touched me. Now, I can't explain what happened within that space of time, within that 5 minutes where whatever it is happened. I'm not here to start preferring explanation to spiritual things that is way beyond me. I'm a man that understands how a lot of things work. That I cannot explain. And nobody can suggest anything otherwise. Because personally, I know what happened, to me. But within that time, lacks explanation. They said I said stuff, I did stuff. I found it extremely embarrassing at that time. But even further down the line, the reason I felt extremely bitter about it was, at the end of the day, my mom didn't get healed. I still lost her, So I carried that. when people were saying all kinds of stuff about it, some people even suggested that I got paid to come, through that charity. I thought that was the highest level of insult. I didn't want to come out in public media and talk about the real reason I was there, because if they understood, they will understand that it's the love of a mother that drew me there. So it happened, and it took the birth of my son really to let that issue go. For a long time I was very bitter about it. I carried that yoke in my heart, and I just felt, I'm so mad at this man and everything that happened that time. But the truth of the matter is that I was holding myself captive, not him. He had that kind of power over me. Every time I saw him, I would request that it gets switched out. But by the end of the day, when I had my son, one night I got up, looked at my son, and felt the enormity of the kind of love a father can feel for him. And I said, listen, for the reason and the occasion of my son's birth, I have to let this go. So I did what a man would do, cried about it, held my son, and swore that I'll let it go. And by all intents and purposes, I think I have.
His altercation with popular media personality.
Stop. This is another person, I think, that fell victim of the same thing, right? This is another person that was also... There was another guy that... Are you seeing me? This is another person that fell in the victim of the same thing. Another guy from Benin City, from Edo State, I think also a popular guy, media personality, also fell victim of the same thing. And, he was also coming out to tell the real story that they were being manipulated, taken advantage of by witchcraft. They don't remember what happens to them. Okay, let's go to the next something. So this is happening in the broad daylight in Africa. And everybody says things are fine. And when I'm exposing this thing now, people are saying, I am the one, who is Antichrist. Who is Antichrist? These people are tarnishing the name of Jesus. These people are doing evil. Let me go to my message. Let's go back to our message. He said, these people are just tarnishing the name of God. So, in the story that we read, then the woman said to him, look, you know what Saul has done. How he has cut off the mediums. That's what we're supposed to do today. We're supposed to remove the mediums from the church. The mediums were removed from Israel as a symbol of what should not be permitted amidst the people of God today. Because it's a shadow of things to come. We should cut off all mediums and spiritists from the land and from the church. Even though we love them, but in those days they have to kill them. But today we love people, but we don't allow them to practice this thing, to bring the unclean into the church. Why then do you lay a snare for my life to cause me to die? It's because they have to kill them those days. But today we don't kill anybody, but we love them, but we convert them, but we don't allow them to practice medium. But today they are even practicing it in the church. It's horrible. And they are supposed to be men of God who are supposed to clean the church, who are supposed to stand in protection of the doctrine of Christ, are the ones who are practicing witchcraft and sorcery in the church. Magic is forcing something to happen. All those magic is forcing something to happen instead of trusting in God for something to happen. You see the difference? When you have to use force, you're talking. That's why I say it is not the repetition. It is not the repetitiveness of your word. When you have to keep on repeating, demonstration, fire, Holy Ghost fire. It is forcing something to happen instead of trusting for something to happen. Blood of Jesus, Holy Ghost fire, That is frenzy. Magic is forcing something to happen by saying the right words or right actions. A set of words and a set of actions to force something to happen. Instead of faith in Christianity, which is trusting God, in God for something to happen. That's the difference. Let's go. Magic or sorcery is the use of rituals, certain words, set of words, or actions, rituals, and rituals, already known rituals, symbols, actions, gestures, and language with the aim of utilizing supernatural forces. That's why you have incantations, certain words, language. You use them for its supernatural forces to operate on your behalf. That is witchcraft. in Christianity is faith in God, relationship with God. Magic grows from the belief that the universe is filled with a power that man can use to help or harm others, if only he will say the right words and do the right things. Then you are able to. That's why how extrasensory perception works. They manipulate the power of nature by speaking the right words, right actions, to use the powers of nature to manipulate, to do good or to do evil over people's life. That's magic. Either it's black magic or white magic, it's still magic. In Acts chapter 8, verses 9 to 11, but there was a certain man called Simon, who previously practiced sorcery. You see, that is what exactly what's being practiced in the churches today. Who previously practiced sorcery in the city and astonished the people of Samaria. That's what people are doing. Pastors are experts today in astonishing people. And the goal of the pastors is to astonish people. The same is the goal of Simon. Is to astonish people of Samaria, claiming that he was someone great. That is exactly the same goal pastors have today. Not to claim that Jesus is great, but to claim that they are the ones who are great. To whom they all gave heed. So that people, all the people in the city followed him. What's the goal of the pastors today? So that they will have crowd following them. That is sorcery. Sorcery. Sorcery is when you are mesmerizing people, astonishing people with some stories, testimonies, miracles, to make people follow you and say that you are someone who is great. So from the least to the greatest, people started saying, this man is the great power of God. Same today. All the men of God want to say, I'm the one who has the great power of God. I'm the great man. That is sorcery. That's the definition of sorcery. Using other people to build your self-image. Using other people, not to raise them up, but to climb on them, use their money, use the crowd, their presence, use a stand on them to build yourself status of greatness and invisibility. That is sorcery. And they heeded him because he had astonished them. You see. Once you have wowed them with the stories, with the testimonies, with the so-called miracles, deliverances, then people begin all to follow and do everything you tell them to do. You know, so, and they followed him because he had astonished them with his sorceries for a long time. That's what is happening today in churches in Africa. Sorcery. It is taught by many in the contemporary Nigerian church that you can virtually wish anything. As soon as you can get to the man of God, wish anything and materialize it just by believing it. That is witchcraft. That is anything you want, just believe it. Or get the man of God to pray for you. And by chanting the name of Jesus or blood of Jesus, Holy Ghost power, or some misquoted scriptures, you believe that you can have anything you want. Let's see some of the videos. So these are the things that are happening in our churches today that people think, or people call, pastors, or people call men of God. Just because they are practicing sorcery. They are astonishing people. They are mesmerizing people. Just like, let's hear this story here.
And next to her house, there was a small flower, like a little, what do you call it? Like,
so that thing came and dug
yes, that boy came and digged out of something there behind that little stump of flower or tree, and he ran very fast. People were shocked.
And people saw that?
Yes, people were saying.
And your aunt immediately, before you even went out there?
Yes, we got a call from my younger sister. She told us that my auntie says so.
Witches are surrendering in the mighty name of Jesus. If there was a witchcraft spirit affecting your success, after Major One declared it, you are free. You are coming with your own testimony.
And then my aunt here from Botswana, the same time that Papa was prophesying my mother here, she said she was in church in Botswana. She said,
you say everything is about Papa. No, Major One, no Jesus, no God. Major One, everything is about the witch doctor. Major One, prophet, Papa, Daddy, no God, no Jesus. Jesus has been replaced. He has been removed. The only time you hear Jesus is in Jesus' name. That's it. Go ahead.
She started shivering because she didn't even know that this was happening. But when she asked people around what time did Baba prophesy, she said it was around that time that she started shivering, and then she felt a sharp pain in her chest, and then she felt like something was leaving her body. Same time that Baba was prophesying here.
This is the one that the prophet said there's another one in Botswana. Meaning to say, as the prophet is declaring now.
You see, it's all about stories and testimonies. They are mesmerizing people with stories, astonishing people with outrageous stories. So in Nigeria now and Africa, people will go and hire these people, give them money to come and tell the more astonishing stories, so that people will know that they are great. They are using all these guys to build their invisibility. It's crazy. Next one. You know, crazy stuff happening. Oh, you want to see? Okay. You want to? Let's hear what is happening here.
Now, while she's in Botswana, she's receiving her deliverance. The spirit of witchcraft is leaving her.
Amen.
Somebody, you are about to receive your deliverance today. You are about to receive your freedom today.
And then the following day, Monday, my younger sister, my mother's second daughter, there's two of us. My younger sister, she's also in Bloemfontein, but she stays in her own house with her husband. Her husband was going to work early in the morning. He heard a noise, and then they saw out of the ceiling of their house, a bird came out of the house. And my younger sister saw it as it was getting out of the house.
What is that? What is that what we are seeing on the picture?
It is a hole that bird made because it came with so much force.
So
it even broke that, it made that hole in the ceiling.
It broke the ceiling and
so they prepared the testimony, they prepared the hole and the picture, everything was ready. Everything is ready. Okay.
Yes, it went out of their house.
So everybody in your family, something left, this can only be the God of Major One. That demon is about to leave you. That demon is about to leave your finances.
This can only be because of the God of Major One. Not Jesus, not God Almighty. Any God, it could be any God, but Major One. People don't even notice these things in our churches today. That Jesus has been thrown out of the window. God has been thrown out of the window. It's no more about Jesus in these churches. It's no more about God. It's about some powerful voodoo men of God. Okay, let's see this one. What does this one have to say?
Enter to wrong gods that happened when I was born. Power of God fall on me and reverse it. As you pray, some shall feel fire, some shall feel current of electricity. God will begin to do new dedication right now. Lift your right hand on fire. Say, my Father, my Father, my Father, my Father. Every demonic dedication, that took place at my birth.
You see, this is magic is repeating a set of words. My father, my father. You go there, everybody. My father, my father. My father, my father. My father, my father. Those are chanting, repeated, known words, a set of words and actions. That is witchcraft.
That is presently fighting my life. As I pray. Word of God. Fall on me. Neutralize it. Fall on me. Neutralize it.
Power of God fall on me. It doesn't need to fall on you. It's already in you. If you are Christians, if these people are Christians, don't make them to be thinking that power has to come from someone because you are talking. People are just being brainwashed. I'm sorry. I know that something that is okay. We should go back to another video. Okay, let's go to my lecture. I think we saw this, right? So, no thought is given that above all, what is being asked for must first be in keeping with the will of God. We are not thinking about the will of God. We are not thinking about, God's priority first. It's our priority. We are asking for what we want. It doesn't matter if it's God's will or it's not God's will. We just want to get what we want. The process of production is neglected. They are not teaching people the process of production, the loss of production, the process of production of goods and services, the loss of money, the loss of productivity. They are not teaching people diligence, dignity of labor. They are not teaching people hard work. They are not teaching people virtues. They are not teaching people things that will make them to be productive and be blessed. They are just teaching them magic. That you will come, we will say a few words, we will pray for you, we will say the right things, we will say do some actions, and the man of God will say some things, or will pray for you, and you will get it. So also, our principles are not being taught, virtues are not being taught, diligence is not being taught, hard work is not being taught, faithfulness in little things is not being taught. You just need to come to the man of God. Once you get to the man of God, miracle will happen. That is fallacy. That is witch doctor mentality. That is voodoo mentality. That is a manifestation of sorcery. So how were sorcerers to be treated? How were sorcerers to be treated in the Old Testament? You heard it. They were supposed to be stoned or killed. That is like how, if these GOs and bishops and etc. were in the Old Testament, they would have been killed. But rather, they are the ones who want to kill the witches today. Because God is merciful. So they are now bringing witchcraft to the church of God, and they want to kill other witches, whereas they themselves are practicing witchcraft. Leviticus 20:27 says, a man or a woman who is a medium, who you have to go through to get to God. Medium is when the person you need to go through to get to God, or the stuff that you need to go through to get to God. Sometimes it is things or people. That is medium. So how do you, and pastors have become mediums, so they are mediums because you have to go through them to get to God. So how is a medium treated? A man or a woman who is a medium or who has familiar spirit, you see, they are seeing your village, they are seeing your pants, they are seeing there's a familiar spirit, okay? How should they be treated? Shall surely be put to death, you see. They shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them. But because today God loves everybody, God loves even the witches and wizards because Jesus has paid for them. But it's not for them to bring that to the church and practice it. So they are still going to be judged, but God is the one going to judge them. So we have to speak the truth and let them know that, this is abomination in the eye of God. And the church is being polluted because of what these pastors are doing. Yes, in the Old Testament, all these pastors should have been dead by now. But see, Simon the sorcerer was not killed. Yet, our pastors are killing witches, enemies, not knowing that they too qualify as those same enemies that are witches and wizards that they are killing. Faith is the substance of things God has promised us, but which have not become reality yet. So faith has to be based on what God has promised, that we are believing. Not some set of words and actions that needs to be repeated because somebody said it. But in Africa today, they try to use faith for all their desires, either is scriptural or not scriptural. Often lust, pride, and ignorance. In Christianity though, we need to first obtain a promise from God before we can exercise faith. We don't just pray anything anyhow. We are not the one manipulating God or influencing God. God, we do God's will on that. God initiates everything. We don't initiate. So nobody can just say, I did deliverance or something like that. When we fast or pray, all manner of prayers over something that God has not promised us, it is attempted manipulation of God himself, an act of witchcraft. When you try to manipulate people, it's witchcraft. When you try to manipulate God, it's witchcraft. So these pastors too are practicing witchcraft. How does God view the so-called Christians in our churches today? He's viewing them as idol worshippers who put their needs, their problems above the love for God, which was condemned in the Old Testament. When you put your needs above the love for God, that is idol worshipping. And then they put the men of God above God. That is idol worshipping as well. Leviticus 26:7 says, and the person who turns to mediums, so these are now we spoke about the mediums themselves, now these are the people who go to mediums. Those are people who go to people, other people to get to God. Or who want to go to people to get blessing, rather than going to God directly. They are the people who turn to mediums and familiar spirits to prostitute themselves with them. Why? Because they belong to God. They shouldn't be going through men anymore. I will set my face against that person and cut him off from his people. Consecrate yourselves, therefore, and be holy, for I am the Lord your God. Never concentrate yourself to God. Personal relationship is what God desires. Concentrate yourself directly to God. Don't go through mediums and people with familiar spirit that you are calling prophets. Don't go through anybody. Don't prostitute yourself. If we understand that God has already given us something in His Word as a principle or law, we only need to go ahead and obey instead of going to ask or beg for it again and again, rather through men of God or church or something. Just believe your Father. Take it and go and obey. We don't keep asking for what God has already given us or for what God said we should do for ourselves. That is because we want to manipulate God too. We want God to give to us what He has not promised or what He has already promised that you should go and work on. We don't want to work on it. It is our lust that these people are taking advantage of. Our laziness. Our attempt to get something for nothing. Mark 16:15-17 says, and He said to them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He who believes, you don't need to be 10 years a believer or 2 years a believer or 1 year. Once you are a Christian, you believe in Jesus and is baptized, will be saved. But he who does not believe will be condemned. And these signs will follow those who believe. You just need to believe. Even if you believe yesterday, in my name they will cast out demons. So you don't need to go to a pastor or a medium to cast out demons. Even you, any Christian should be casting out demons, not Christians, not pastors casting out demons from Christians. No, Christians should be casting out demons. Even if you are one day an old Christian, you have the authority to cast out demons. No, never go to church for them to be casting demons out of you. You are the one to be going to the world to cast demons out of people. All right, let's see some of these manipulative videos that they are doing. We left out some before the last one. There are some you had there. Okay, let's see some of these. There are some of the manipulations that are going on in the name of Christianity, in the name of religion. It's just horrible things happening in Nigeria. We are going to open the line soon. We are going to open the telephone line. While we are waiting to open the telephone line, see this thing that is, which one is this one? It's about casting out demons. So let's go, this is America, let's go to Africa. Let's find our own people, leave Americans to solve their own problems. Just put anyone that you, yeah. Let's see what they're doing.
A rejection, a prayer, a proclamation, a declaration. This is why your voice must be the loudest. Say, battles. Crude to my life by the enemy. Can you shout it with ignorance? Let your voice be the loudest here. Place your hand on your belly button. On your belly button. And don't say anything for now. Father, I'm praying for your children who are on their knees now. Every curse that has been working against you from the womb. Every spirit of rejection that
Sorry, remove that. Remove the word. You see what he's saying? Every curse that is working against you since you are in the womb, he is now going to break it as if Jesus died in vain. You see, what they're supposed to be telling people is that Jesus has already died for you. He has already paid the price. You are no more under the curse. Believe. What is needed in Christianity is just to believe. Believe that God has already paid the price for you. And reject, don't believe in any curse that is on you who can work against you. Believe in the finished work of Christ. Not be telling people that you are the one going to now set them free. You are the one now to break the cause that is working. They are your church members. They are coming to that church every week. You are breaking this cause every week. You are breaking the cause every month. You are doing program upon program, breaking the cause. When will it be broken? Because you are deceiving them. They are your members for how many years now? Some people in those churches have been been there for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And this man kept on praying all this, breaking all these causes. Nothing is breaking. Because it is lie. They are just trying to control people, to manipulate them. Where are the calls? Let people begin to come on with the calls. We have opened the line for the calls. For you to call in, you just need to go to Facebook Messenger, Move Agents. Facebook Messenger, Move Agents. Please go and share the message. Go and share the message, please. If you have not yet shared the message, please go share the message. Let's go and share the message. Go look for your share button. It should be somewhere there. Let's go share the message, and I want to hear your thoughts. I need to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts today? What do you think about this message? Syncretism in the in deliverance, in understanding deliverance. I'm sure a lot of people are angry. I didn't see the comments yet. I'm sure, a lot of angry comments will be there. Haters and who are angry. Yeah, you have the right to be angry. But I have the right to do my job. I have to do my job. And I think all of us are supposed to be doing the same thing. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about syncretism in understanding of faith. Syncretism in understanding faith. Even faith. People are talking about faith in Africa. Faith. It is synchronistic. We have synchronism. Paganistic. What they call faith now is paganistic. It's syncretism in understanding faith. So if you need to call in, just go to Facebook Messenger, look for the word Move Agents, and you can write that you want to call in. Hello? I think we have somebody here.
God bless you, sir.
Is that Apostle Paul?
Yes, this is Apostle Paul.
Please, yes, we are glad to hear your contribution today, sir.
Yeah, God bless you. As you were speaking, we were all, I believe every other person on the platform were praying for you because we see virtue live in you,
Yes.
And thank God for utterance, because sometimes you might have something to give, but we really need to ask God for utterance to be able to deliver what you really need to deliver. And thank God for rightly dividing the word of truth.
Thank you.
For everyone who's in the platform, because Pastor Sunday Adelaja, you can't do this all alone. You need a team.
Yes.
And I really want to let everyone who is listening or who is in the platform to have an understanding that, the day we give our life to Jesus Christ, or the day He found us or chose us, the remission of sin is different from forgiveness of sin. Remission of sin is when you get born again, when your spirit man has been recreated, that is, you go to salvation, but your mind and your body has not been saved yet. Yes. That's why, your soul, you need to, Romans chapter 12 said, I beseech you, brethren, with the message of God, not to conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So there's a place of renewing of the mind, yes, and also that will affect the body too. So many of us are born again, our spirit man is saved. Hallelujah for that. That is remission of sin. But forgiveness of sin is a place where he says, if any of you have sinned, let He's just to forgive and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness, but people don't really understand that perspective. Like for me, when I pray, this is how I pray. I pray a prayer of thanksgiving more. Like constantly, I say, Father, I thank you because you have given to me delegated authority to trample upon snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the powers of the enemy. Father, thank you because I've been crucified with Christ. It's no longer I that live, but Christ that lives in me. The life I now live in this flesh, I live in faith.
in the Son of God, who loved me and gave his life for me.
Yes.
The Bible says, whatsoever is born of God has overcome the world. I am born of God, and whatsoever is born of God has overcome the world. So I have overcome the world. As it is in heaven, so I am in this world. So I pray with the world. Now, I want everybody in this platform to understand that even Jesus Christ, who is the Word of God, who was God himself, needed the Word of God to overcome even the devil.
Yes.
In the days of temptation, he said, it is written. It is written means he had to search the scriptures, and he saw it in the book of Deuteronomy, and he used it against the enemy, not against demons, because the devil is the father. We're not talking about demons now. That one is small. That is a little. I'm talking about the devil himself, because we only have one enemy.
Yes.
Our enemy, that's who we have, the devil. And sometimes I see people draw a timetable. They put God here and put devil in the other way. I say, no, it's wrong. They put light here and put darkness. So people have so magnified the devil so much that they begin to have this fear, and that's why the so-called men of God are using this advantage over them. There was a day a friend of mine, I was saying, brother, Oyedipo, he said, guy, don't call him like that. Why are you calling him Oyedipo? He is bishop. Put bishop. I said, wait a minute. How do you call Moses? How do you call Elijah?
Even Jesus.
Has Bishop Oyedipo performed has he called down fire from heaven before? Has he been able to part the Red Sea at the River Lokoja or the River Niger or the one in Lagos? Has he done that? But you call Elijah, you call Moses, but you want to. There's an ancient part where it's like a baton that has been. It's like a baton. Like Abraham gave it to Isaac, gave it to Jacob, gave it to Judah gave it to. So it's like a baton. There's an ancient part. And we are all living the ancient part. We need to go back to that ancient part that God has divided, the blueprint that God has placed from the beginning. When I was still in the world, man of God, when I'm fornicating, committing, I used to say, Jesus, oh my God, this is so sweet. And God has not killed me for even calling his name in that kind of thing. So is it because I just open my mouth to call Pastor Chris? Don't call him Chris, call him, give him a, I said, title. Please, people in the platform, go read Ephesians chapter 4. The Bible says, he that ascended also descended. And when he ascended, he gave gifts to men. To some, he gave apostles, to some prophets, to some evangelists, to some teachers, and to some pastors. And the purpose for this gift is a responsibility that the body of Christ will come to a level of maturity in the stature of Christ. So will not be tossed to and fro by strange doctrines.
Thank you so much. So these other callers,
that's what they call ascension gifts, and the ascension. Because the gift of the apostles in these last days must be an ascension gift, not a resurrection gift. It means that our spirit man should be able to ascend into heaven and download what God is saying for the now before we can pour it out to the people.
Thank you so much,
God
Apostle.
bless you, sir. We are together in this, and I can assure you, I know as you're speaking this, it's going viral. Everyone is this is Antichrist, he is that. I'm part of the Antichrist, so I'm part of it.
Thank you so much, Apostle.
Because you just showed us something about Paul and Silas. When Paul and Silas casted that sorcery spirit from that so-called person who was making money through people, they became angry. And what did they do to him? The people were angry. Oh, this guy wants to stop because he's teaching about tithing now. He just wants us to make money again. Oh, let us bring. And they put them in jail. Yes. But you know what? If it is God, if it is God, you will see the rest of it. Let God take the lead.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Brilliant. Great contribution. Thank you so very much, Apostle Paul. He's calling from Asia. And you will see that the world will still hear the name of this guy, this Apostle Paul, because there are not too many sound people these days. Hello, Tokwe.
Yeah, good. This is afternoon here in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you doing, Pastor?
Thank you, sir. We are glad to hear you again today.
Listening to your preaching. I'm calling to training this afternoon, and it was so captivating. You see,
your line is that you have to call back. You have to call back. Your line is very bad. You've got to call back. We can't hear you very well. You need to call back, Tokwe. Your line was very bad. Get a place where you are just by yourself. Put off the Facebook Live and don't be moving. When you are moving, it could affect the line. So find a stable place where you are stationary, and then the call will be better. This last caller, the call was not so good. Hello, Bayo.
Hello, how are you, DSA?
Well, I'm trying my best.
I really enjoyed the topic of today. In as much as you've showed a lot of things that are going on within the church, I think a lot of people in Nigeria are not exposed to the environment where those of us living in Europe and the US are exposed to. Hence, a lot of people are being taken in by tricks or by manipulation. Some of the things that you showed on TV, the telepathy, astral travel, and so on and so forth, we see it every day on TV here. It's no big deal. But over there in Nigeria, it's been practiced in church. Now, a story is, a while back, I went home and I was talking to my cousins in the village. And I explained to them that, you see, children chasing after snakes, getting the snakes, taking the snakes out, and then getting the venom out of the snakes so that doctors or researchers will be able to get anti-venom. My cousin said to me, no, they must have been using something. They must have used voodoo. Now, I sent the video down to them. They look at it. They still did not believe that it is possible. So my question now is, how can one go on and enlighten the people about the possibilities that is existing in the Western world? Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir. Beautiful, beautiful. Dabayo was short today. He was very, very short today. He was very precise, it was even less than 3 minutes. I think it was time sensitive. It was time sensitive. Well, I think he made a point. But I'm not sure he finished his point, but I think we all got it. So please, you know that we have more messages on demons and how to overcome the evil-powered satanic attacks. So if you missed that series, you can go and listen to it. Hello, Tokwe.
Yeah, I'm happy to call Jesus Christ.
Hello.
Somebody was calling me at this moment in time.
Hello. What's wrong with your line today?
No, somebody was calling me at this point in time. I'm very sorry, Pastor. Somebody was calling me on my phone. I was using my phone to call. Hello?
Okay, you can talk now. It's like it's better now.
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah. What I was saying the other time is that your message is so inside. I've been in this situation for long, and I want to confess to you, I have a lot of prophets as friends. Personal friend, they are very close to me and they are big men of God, and I know them and I know the way they do things, and because when you are in the carcass, you know how things work. You see, and when you go to all this big church, by the time you go to the high echelon of the pastoral level, then you see the manipulation that is going on, and it's very crazy. When I was in Nigeria, I was like an assistant pastor. And we have about several pastors in that church. But you know that until I left the place and I started hearing a lot of infighting between pastors before I discovered, I don't know pastor fight among themselves. Serious one, terrible one. Until they scattered the whole place. That's number one. Number two, you see this manipulation that is going on, it has been there. I've experienced it. But the thing is this, I was so lucky to be able to liberate myself. Because I have a lot of them as my personal friend. I discovered that they do the same thing. They say the same thing, and they tell you the same thing. If I introduce somebody to them, it's a big fish, they catch a big fish. But they will never come for the past 20, 15 years. They never come to me to tell me to bring anything, to do this, to do that, to do that. But when a new customer gets to them, they can say a lot of things, and they will manipulate them. And now they are so perfect, especially in my country, Nigeria, that they manipulate them to get their money. They get their money, they get their landed property, they get all this. I discovered that Christianity has not You see, this is not the real Christianity journey that people we were supposed to be led into. Like I said, my first call the other time, I said, now, people are now realizing, a lot of people are realizing, but they cannot talk. People are now realizing their gullibility, that, oh, these people are here to do this, to do that. And until everybody becomes aware, until everybody understand that these people are not really doing just, you doing their own, they are not really talking to the congregation, they are talking to themselves, they are doing everything to manipulate people to come to their, like you said. You see, all they are doing is to bring everybody to under their control. And they will use that as a launching pad. Even when you talk about, like I told you the other time, most of these churches, somebody is sick, for God's sake. We need hospital in Nigeria. We need people to go to school. We need people to work. That is what people need. But you want them to be coming to your church 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times every day. How will they sustain themselves? What are you impacting on them? The decision of Jesus Christ is easy. Accept Jesus Christ. This is the way. We can go to church to teach us, and everybody can go. But you see, the manipulation has been on and on and on. And until these voices like yours and some other people are coming, and people like to realize that, look, this will not work this same way again. And we've seen it. It's obvious all over the place how people are using people to get what they want. All these pastors. I went to visit a very mighty man of God one day, and all the men of God there, they were drinking palm wine, and they never knew I was the one coming, and I came and they were dodging the palm wine. I said, look at these people. So you don't want your congregation to know that you are drinking palm wine. And you are drinking it in here. So I see the way they do this thing, but you see, only God will help us, especially in Africa. What we need is education. People need education. People need good road. People need hospital to go when they are sick. They should be able to afford to go. People cannot even afford to consult a doctor. So when you cannot even get 500 naira to go and see a doctor, 1,000 naira to go and see, what is the next option you want?
Okay,
the next
thank
option
you.
is the church, the pastor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pastor John. You are doing a very
good contribution. Thank you.
God bless you today.
You too. Thank you. Yeah, somebody is asking how can they call. The way to call is written there. You see the pin message? It says call now on Facebook Messenger. You know, that's Facebook Messenger. Move agents. Go and look for it and say you want to call. So you can call. And for those of you who have not listened to the message, like I said, I was talking about victory over Satan, satanic attacks. Go look for it on the SoundCloud and YouTube. Hello, Osas.
Can you hear me, sir?
Very well.
Today's teaching is an eye-opener. Actually, I just have to praise you, and I say God bless you for all these teachings. Because this is what I was trying to say last time about the Holy Spirit. Many of us Christians, we don't know the importance of the Holy Spirit. You understand? Like
yes.
Today's teaching is a thing that we Christians need to follow up with. I have been to a place when I was in Holland. A pastor was ministering. Actually, I love praise and worship. The pastor was ministering after the praise and worship. As he started ministering, he was prophetically releasing words. And I said to myself, and I pray in the Spirit, the Holy Spirit told me he was lying. Stand up, I will not stand up because I wouldn't want the Spirit, the power is using to hypnotize other people to be upon me. Today, as many that listen to your teachings today and they still remain in bondage under one pastor or another, they have not started. They are not really Christians.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
I just pray that the Lord God continue to strengthen and empower you. There was a time I went to a church. The man of God here in Spain said, there are 4 people here that God says they should give out 4,000 euro. Then I started praying in the Spirit. As I was praying, the Holy Spirit told me that the man was lying. And I wanted to come out to go and meet the man that you are lying. The Holy Spirit said, keep quiet. The beating you will receive here today, they will beat you and molest you. I said, you see, most of us Christians, we have relegated the Holy Spirit, which I should say that the power, the Spirit of God is already in us to design and to deliver and to even do miracles instead of going to men of God to lay hands on us. We don't know the power they are using. And they are imparting that power into us, which is devilish.
Thank you thank you so much.
May the Lord God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
To you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, for you to call, the way to call is Facebook Messenger. Go to Facebook Messenger. When you say it's pinned there, look for Move Agents. And then I will ask those people who want to receive my messages on WhatsApp. If you have not been receiving the messages on WhatsApp and you want to be receiving the messages on WhatsApp, there's going to be a WhatsApp announcement now that we'll put. So you can follow that. It will be pinned up there. Hello, Sam.
Hello, Pastor.
It's been a while.
Good evening. You are blessed. I'll be listening to your message all this while. For me, I don't want to be calling every day.
Okay.
Because I prefer to listen.
Yes.
Because I've been blessed already with your words, Pastor. To be honest, what you said today, firstly, for me, I was really hungry within myself. I was crying. I don't know what we can do, as you said, Pastor. We need to organize maybe a legal, we need to have a lawyer in Nigeria, to be honest. All these people, they are using the name of our father wrongly. We should take them to court.
Yes.
I believe that is our right. We have a right to do that. Anybody that thinks we don't have a right to do that, he does not know the word of God.
Yes.
For me, I'm ready for that. As I was telling my friend 2 days ago, he said, Pastor, I said, look, for this Christ, I'm ready to die.
Yes.
I was telling, for me, if I'm not ready to die, that's why I'm not really serving him at all.
Yes.
That's what I told him. I pray God will help us. One thing I just want to say this evening is that, when you look, because as you are talking, my mind just go to Galatians chapter 4, verse 6. He said, because you are a son, and God has sent forth his spirit of his son into your heart, and cry out, Abba, Father. Therefore, you are no longer a slave, but a son. We don't have a Christian in Nigeria. What we have is they are all slaves. That's why their master are controlled the way they like.
Yes.
Because this message, a lot of people, they will not take it. They will never agree with you because they are still a slave.
Yeah.
Until they become a son of God. That's why they can have a better understanding. Because men of God, they are just agents. They can be agent of darkness, they can be agent of God. They are just a man of God, they are just a servant. It's you who is with a son that you know the mind of our Father. They don't know the mind of, they can be bringing a message from the pit of hell and be delivered to the children of God. And I pray God will help us, and I pray God will deliver his own children from their hand in Jesus' name.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Barry or Sheila that says I can't call in. The way to call in is to go to Facebook Messenger and look for Move Agents, one word, Move Agents, and then write that you would like to call in. You first of all have to write, and once you write, we'll reply you or we'll call you back. Just write in and say, I would like to call in. So I would like you to know that this, apart from the live broadcast, we have a lot of messengers, a lot of messages on YouTube, SoundCloud, Telegram. Go for them, please. Hello? Mtofi? Hello? Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Mtofi from South Africa.
Yes, glad to hear your voice today again.
Thank you very much, sir. My 3 minutes take for today, having listened to you, these are the things that I've come to conclude. It takes a lot of courage to stand out.
Yes, sir.
And not many people, they want to do that, to stand out or come out, because there are a lot of challenges when you are standing out or when you are coming out. And more especially in Africa, we are used to, and we are very comfortable with the status quo, and we don't want to challenge the status quo. So that is why, even if when someone is coming up and stand out, like the way we are doing, challenging the status quo, the very same people who have accepted the status quo, they are fighting the one who's challenging the status quo.
Yes.
And we have seen this even with the children of Israel. Moses, he delivered the children of Israel from Egypt, but while they were on the way, these are the very same people who accused the deliverer, saying to him, you have removed us from where we have accepted the way of living, the way of being slaved, and you have taken us to be free, to kill us here.
Yes.
It was even better for us to die in Egypt. There were even graves there. That's why you can see the message like the one that you were showing us yesterday, whereby people they are saying, even if this guy TP Joshua is going to hell, I will follow him there. Because of this, that's how our mindset are as Africans. That's why we are not most of the revolutionists, you don't find them here with us because of we don't want to stand out. We are scared to challenge the status quo. We are scared to come out of our own clique. We have been accepted by the society not to come out.
Well, by the grace of God, we are working on it.
When you are doing what you are,
God will help us.
That's correct. No, we believe that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is all for me for today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello, there is somebody here who is very passionately trying to let me know that they love me. We love you, DSA. Who is the name? That is Idowu Biola. Idowu Biola, I get your message. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate you. Thank you for appreciating what I'm doing. And thank you for sending your love. Okay, Sunday Ngere. You want to receive my messages. Brother Sunday, you see the clip, pinned message on WhatsApp. Follow that WhatsApp broadcast pinned message. That's how you'll be able to get the messages. Hello? Who is this, please?
Hello. Hey,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to bring my contribution about what here today.
Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Ireland in Dublin.
Okay. Go ahead and talk.
Hello. Yeah, we are so blessed for what is happening. What you are opening the eyes of the body of Christ to the Christians to know the truth about what is happening in the church, actually in Africa and maybe all over the world, because these things start for years now. Those fathers, we are tired and sick of those things.
You know what? I don't know what's wrong with your line. Your line is very bad. We can't distinguish your words. The line is very bad. You might need to call back. Somebody said he sent me messages on WhatsApp. You know, I don't have WhatsApp number. So if you see any number with my name there, it's not my own. No. And this number that you are using to send the message, just for the message, it's not my number. I don't have WhatsApp. I don't use WhatsApp. So if you want to send message to me, you send it through Facebook Messenger. So you can send me through Facebook Messenger, my own Facebook Messenger. I don't have Facebook Messenger. I don't have WhatsApp. Hello, Gerald.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for what you are doing.
Where are you calling from, Gerald?
I'm calling from Grand Forks in North Dakota in the United States.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a Cameroonian. I follow you all the time. If I am not online,
you Cameroonians,
I have to come and listen overnight. Sometimes I don't even sleep. Like last night, I slept like 3 a.m. because I was listening to the program you had yesterday.
You English-speaking Cameroonians, why are you also smart like that? You are also sensible.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I can't miss your program. If I miss it, I'll have to come overnight and watch it till the next morning. So, as I told you, you know what you are doing? You are simply just bearing witness to the truth. You remember what Christ said? He came to bear witness to the truth. He later on said, I am the truth. And those who are on the side of truth, listen to me. Pastor, I want to tell you that I am on the side of truth, and that is why I'm listening to you. Yeah, so what you are doing is directly what our Lord Jesus will do. You remember in Matthew 24, when Jesus was asked about the end times, when he will come back, do you know what he said? He didn't just answer that, oh, I'll come back this time. He just told them that take heed. Take heed, in verse 4. Take heed that no one deceives you. And then he says that this deception will be by false prophets. In verse 11, he says, for many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. And then if you go to verse 24, it tells you that the bet that the false prophets will be using is miracles. Are we against miracles? No.
Yes.
But the false prophets will use the bet of miracles to deceive many.
Yes, sir.
And so many people are so ignorant about these things that it just baffles me when I see people write funny comments. When I see your boldness and how you have stood up, you don't even care about what people are saying, and you go out there and you're exposing yourself, I'm just saying, oh God, thank you so much. Thank you so much that you could raise up a man who could stand up for this challenge. Because my heart is so broken what I see what goes on in the TV in America here, what is going on in Africa. My heart gets so broken. Because I can see that people are so much derailed. And they believe so much in these people who are deceiving them.
Yes.
Yeah, so I am so grateful. And if I want to read you something, I just wrote down something here. I just copied from the internet. It says, many of these false prophets use extrasensory perception, or ESP, which is commonly called the sixth sense, coined by renowned psychologist J.B. Ryan. The term was used to refer to psychic abilities and temporal operations. The 4 types of extrasensory perceptions include clairvoyance, psychokinesis, telepathy, and precognition. Clairvoyance is the alleged ability to gain information about an object, person, location, or physical event through extrasensory perception. Psychokinetics or telekinetics, which is what Pastor Chris and TV Joshua are using, is the ability to move objects by mental effort alone.
Yes.
It is the alleged psychic ability allowing a person to influence a physical system without physically touching them or without physical interaction.
Yes.
Telepathy is the purported transmission of information from one person to another without using any of our non-sensory channels. That means if you have watched America's Got Talent, you will see people come out there and tell you what you're even thinking.
Yes.
They tell you everything about yourself. Are they using the Spirit of God?
No.
They are not using the Spirit of God.
Yes.
Of course, they are using a familiar spirit. And this is what these pastors are doing and mesmerizing people. And people are believing that they're true. And then the last one is precognition, also called pre-science. Future vision. I mean, they're seeing future vision like the girl in the books of Acts that Paul cast out a demon from.
Yes.
The future sight is an alleged psychic ability to see events in the future.
Yes.
But what do we note in this thing? Like Simon, these people use these things to astonish people and mesmerize them and pull them to themselves and not to Christ.
Yes.
So they are pointing the people to themselves and not Christ. And as long as you see somebody pointing people to himself and not Christ, you can clearly say that that person is a false prophet. That person is a false teacher.
Sorceress.
So I am so grateful and I thank you. I don't want to take so much time, and I really just appreciate you so much. I am a faithful follower. I am following you all the time. I might be silent. I might not call, but no, I am with you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. I have a lot of Cameroonians on this platform. I wonder why, for some reasons, is the Cameroonians are able to understand this, and it's getting to a lot of Cameroonians, and not all Nigerians are able to get it. I think Nigerians are more hypnotized or whatever, brainwashed. And we have some Ghanaians, but I don't think we have too many Ghanaians here because too many Ghanaians also like Nigerians have been brainwashed. But Cameroonians, God is using them, and they are so smart. I wonder why there are so many of them that are so smart like that from Cameroon. Hello?
Yeah, this is Judah Flourish.
Bless you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Where are you calling from, sir?
Hello, sir.
Are you calling from Nigeria? We lost him. Sorry, we lost you. We can't hear you. Your line is bad. Oh, it's frozen. Okay, it doesn't show me it's frozen here. What about in your place? Anyway, what was the next caller? Huh? Is it frozen? Ooh. Okay. Who is the next caller there? Judah is calling again. Okay. Let's try. Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
I don't know what's wrong with the network. Your network seems to be frozen.
Hello, sir.
Yes, we hello?
Hello, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, can you talk, please?
This is hello?
The line is very bad for him. You know, just get someone with a better line. For those people who are writing that they want to receive and distribute WhatsApp, see the link. The link is pinned here, like here, koro here in the comment. Look at it. Just follow that link in the comment. You'll be able to get all the WhatsApp message you need. Hello?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Who is this, please?
I'm calling from Italy.
Italy. What's your name?
Chichi.
Okay, Chichi. Nice to hear your voice. We are hearing your contribution today.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I want to thank God for your life. I want to thank God for this call that you've taken upon your life because it's not easy. Not every man of God will come to broadcast this true message that you're giving to us today.
Yeah.
So even right on when I started following you, I've shared a lot of your message on my platform. You know, I got about 19,000 plus view that have viewed the message, but not even one person have liked the post. I got to understand that we Nigerians, we really don't like the truth, you know. We don't like hearing the truth because a lot of them, I have a lot of pastors on as my friends on Facebook there, but none of them, even when I invited them to worship online, they never came. So I am so disappointed in them because they knew that the truth is being exposed. They don't want us, the members, to get rooted, you know. They don't want us to be built out from this very message. But God, in His infinite mercy, is going to touch them. I just pray that the Lord that have called you for this work will also endeavor you to mandate this message to Nigerians, being that the way things are going in Nigeria, that they are not able to get this message just the way we are getting it here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chichi. Thank you so very much. Brilliant. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like I said, if you need these messages on WhatsApp, it is there now. You see the comment section? That's a pinned message. It's there, it's constant. Follow that thing. Make you press up. And that's how you get the message. Hello, Tayo.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you put off your Facebook volume?
Okay, hello, sir.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Bless you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where are you calling? Where are you calling?
I'm calling from London.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Basically, sir, I want to share my experience.
Please.
On this platform.
Okay.
I believe our problem in Nigeria is our people lack knowledge and exposure.
Okay.
I was working in Nigeria. I was working with an oil company. And as a young man, before 30, I already had my house.
Okay.
and I have my building. So, but the fear of God, everything I want to do, but I was misled. I have this man of God. He called himself a prophet. So I was always going to him. Even before I met him, I'm already an established man. So I was going to him, sir, I want to do this thing. Then I was trying to establish myself because my salary was part. You know, I have a transport company. Then after that, I ventured into a poultry business. I was going to him. You know, I was telling him this, I want to do this, I want to do that. This same man, I bought him a car. You know, it was on my full scale salary. Because of my ignorance. So I started having problem in my poultry. Maybe it's on this platform, or maybe it's hearing what I'm saying. I started having problem in my poultry. You know, my birds started, I started losing birds. You know, so I called him. I said, "Man of God, I'm having problem. What can we do?" Do you know what he told me, sir? Are you listening to me, sir?
He will say, "Go and give" or something.
Yeah, he said I should sow a seed. So he said they have an accommodation problem. I gave him 100,000 naira. I gave him 100,000 naira. After sowing the 100,000 naira, there was no result. So I had a problem at work. I called him. I said, "Man of God, I have a particular problem at my work. I'm expecting so people from head office. You know, this that." I told him that. He said, "I should sow a seed." That was when I realized I am doing a wrong thing. That was when I realized this man is just milking me.
Ole
me. So I stopped giving him. I stopped talking to him for complete 6 months. I didn't call him. I didn't do anything. I was able to overcome the problem at work. You know, everything became normal.
Without a seed.
Exactly. So I said to myself, this man is just a mere man like myself.
Yes.
Why can't you talk to God? He assumed to be calling the same God. Why can't you talk to God? Must you go through a man of God before God can answer your prayer? And that was it. And that was the day God delivered me from this man of God.
Idol worshiping.
Yes, sir. After that I came to England. Because I've never been to the Western world. I came to the England. I see these people, they don't go to church. You know, there are a lot of charity here and there. The government are assisting people. I now said to myself, what is going on with us in Africa? What is going on? I told my mom, I said, "Mom, I don't believe in any man of God. In as much as he can call on God, I can also speak to my God."
But they are the devourers now. The devourers that they are saying should not come to you. They are the ones who are already there. The devourers.
Yes. Thank you, sir. God bless you. I really appreciate you. Thank you, because this your platform is just an eye opener, and God will continue to use you greatly. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you. Blessings. Yeah, please, and you people should know that I have a lot of messages already recorded on other platforms like YouTube, like SoundCloud, like Telegram. You know, many. If you have not been listening to my old messages, make you go, because everything's there for you. Hello, Henry.
Hello, Pastor.
Where are you calling from, Henry? Good evening. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Malaysia.
From Malaysia?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, Pastor.
Beautiful.
Pastor, I've been following your program for a very long time, and honestly, you have really exposed and naked some of those fake pastors that we have. Those jobbers you have in Nigeria. Honestly, they are in trouble. And I look at the reactions from back home, I know that seriously a lot of them are in trouble. Honestly, for a very long time, I have been looking, you know, I have been suspecting all of them. Even before I left that country, I've been suspecting all of them. Because it's too much. You can never go attend any ordinary church program. They will not tell you to sow a seed. Right. Giving is too much. I thought I would ask myself, what this money we are giving? This is what I'm counting for it. What they are doing is to scatter more branches here and there, you know. And I'm like, this thing is just too much. Every street there's a branch. Everywhere there's a branch. Every street. I'm telling you, Christ Embassy have branch. I'm telling you the truth. I've attended most of these churches. They have branch in every street. You know. And I'm like, what is this people? What is their plan? And you know, honestly, the truth is that my spirit have never agreed with them right from the beginning. You understand? I don't agree with them. These they are sometimes because the person they were able to get was my mom. My mom will say, let's go to church so that the man of God can see vision for you. I say, I don't want any vision, I beg. Go. Because I've been suspecting them for a very long time. I have a classmate when I was in the university. I have a classmate. The guy was a pastor. You know that this my pastor friend. He used to pastor a church on Sunday. The guy can womanize.
Wow. The
guy can drink. I was like, this guy will still pastor church on Sunday. I cannot confront him because he's my friend. If we talk now, you know, it's somehow. So I will just keep quiet. So the thing is just too alarming, as in it's too much. But because of all those things that I was seeing, I don't believe them again. I don't believe them at all. I used to run. When they say they are seeing vision, that place, let's go. I'm done. I don't go to anywhere that are seeing vision. Because I'm scared of those that are vision. Those people that are too much. Honestly, when they say they can make you to walk, immediately you can walk. I'm scared of all those that are vision. They are miracle. Honestly, it's very scary. You know, there was one that happened recently. I was here. My mom called me. She said she was in the page. Then she went to Lagos to visit my siblings. When she got there, she told me that she was sick in the village. That she just went to one church and they prayed for her. Now she's feeling better. Are you getting me? That the pastor asked her to bring 60,000 so they will do some prayer for her. That the people that is chasing her from the village that have left her after the prayer will not start chasing her when she goes back to the village. So, you know what? I told my mom, I said, don't give any money. I don't have money. Because she wanted me to send her 60,000 so she can go and give to my God. I said, I don't have a dime. I will not give you a cent. She was like, please, that she doesn't want anything to happen to her. I said, nothing is going to happen to you. Go back to the village. Let us test this theory. Since I've been giving this money every time you are giving. Let us test this theory. Man of God, you know that till today my mother will go back to the village. Nothing is wrong with her. But you would have given her 60,000 naira for nothing. So, God bless you. You don't know what you're doing. Just keep on the good work so that you can enlighten more people so that they can understand what is really happening in that place. A lot of evil is happening over there, honestly.
Thank you.
A lot of things are happening there and nobody is talking.
Thank you so
it's
much.
It's very, very bad.
Sister's house, I don't go buy chicken. Chicken and rice. So that the demons or the enemies that are chasing after you, since you have been healed now, they will not come back. They'll put the sickness on you again. Manipulators, Jerry. People are just manipulating anyhow. Okay, who is the next caller? All right, we are going to get the next caller. Okay. Is he not calling through? No caller. Yeah, let's get the caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who is this place? Who is this? Yes, who is this place?
My name is Chima.
From?
I'm calling from Nigeria, Lagos.
Oh, good. Wow. You are the first caller from Nigeria today, from the...
Wow.
From the main line. Yes.
Okay, well, I'm grateful.
Yes.
Okay, Pastor, I think I listened to your message today. I was so blessed by it.
Okay.
In the process of listening to it, my daughter came and fiddled with my laptop. I lost it. I was searching it out well, and I was back.
Wow.
So I thank you for all the exposures and everything. And when you were telling that story about Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, it just took me years back when I was in school.
Yes, sir.
I had a friend. His room was the room next to me.
Okay.
And I knew some of his roommates too, but because he was my friend, I knew his roommates. But one of the semesters I came back, I told him, this particular guy in your room, I used to like him before, but my spirit just doesn't go with his spirit this period I came back. Then my friend told me that maybe because the guy joined one cult, he mentioned one cult like that his father was there, his father now initiated him in the cult. So one of the days, I came back from school and that particular guy was alone in their room, and he was alone and he was speaking to himself. And while he was talking, it was as if two people were talking. A voice would speak to him and he would answer that voice. And only him was speaking, was speaking the two voices. And that second voice was exactly the sound of Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, the way his voice sounds,
yes.
The way he speaks those phonetics. And that also took me to what somebody wrote on Facebook. They said, Pastor Chris Oyakhilome grew up in Benin like me. Where did he learn all these phonetics that he speaks? So, because that was the spirit asking that guy, you need to see how that guy was speaking. He would say, I am talking to you now. And he will respond with the same voice.
Wow.
These men of God, they are dealing with people.
Wow.
As I speak to you now in my house, my wife, for the past 2 years, she has been staying in a separate room from me. Why? Because they told her that her father is in a cult and that the father has initiated me, her husband, and that I want to kill her and the child.
Yeah.
One of the days she called me, she said the pastor gave her a prophecy. That because I write power Bible, she said they told her that somebody, Joseph, rides back with me. That both of us are going to have an accident. Coincidentally with me, I just opened my phone and I put the last picture I posted on Facebook was a picture of myself and that guy, and I tagged him. So I told my wife, anybody that has Facebook account can give this prophecy that they just give you, that please stop listening to these things. So this is how they use people's mind.
And women will go and believe them.
Yeah. And they're all adding me all over on Facebook. I see all of them adding me. Recently, I started deleting everybody. Started deleting all of them. A particular church where my mother used to worship, they did everything to make me to worship there. I said, I don't want to worship in this church. I don't even like the congregation. I've listened to their pastor's messages. They are simple, fundamental things that you should know, and he will wow them with all those things. And I tell my wife, this is just simple, maybe eschatology of man, some basic teachings that you should know, but the way he will wow them and twist some things, and I'll be looking at them. One of the days I came back from work, saw his picture in my bedroom, and I asked my wife, what is this man's picture in my bedroom? Remove it. The way I told him that I don't like him. Well, I said I didn't care. That I like him or not, I don't care. He can't keep a man's picture in my room. This is my bedroom. So, Pastor, I just want to thank you. I prayed out.
Now, I said, now we have to pray that your wife will get deliverance from this man of God, though.
We really need to pray because she goes into the room, she locks the door. I have 3 children. They're always with me. She doesn't talk to her father because they told her that her father is in our court. It's a serious thing going on now. She stays on her own. She doesn't talk to me for the past 2 years now. So, but to me, at first I was taking it. At first I was bothered, but recently I'm so overjoyed. I don't know why. Recently I've just been so overjoyed, especially since the media war started going on with tithe and no tithe. I've been so overjoyed. Last Sunday, the way I danced in church last Sunday, I don't know, because I was able to say my mind on media. I was even able to confront my pastor when I became born again. I confronted him online, which I challenged him. He would say, I tell him no.
Deliverance.
I put scriptures, I would quote. So I was so excited on Sunday. I was dancing on Sunday. I didn't know why I danced.
Deliverance don't come now. Deliverance don't come.
I believe so, sir.
Thank you.
Sunday, I dressed so. Recently, I've been going with just a native and my sandals to church, but on Sunday I wore suits.
I wore pink shirt. I was so fabulous. Somebody had to even tell me you are looking so nice, and I was just so excited on Sunday. Maybe because I would
freedom don't come. Oh, freedom don't come. Thank you so much. Thank you. Blessings. Freedom don't come. You know, freedom from fear. Because these people have been captivating people, mesmerizing them through fear. They have been using fear to hold people in bondage. That is what Simon the sorcerer was doing. So the spirit of fear has held our people captive for so long. So now freedom has come. Everybody can speak their mind. And that is the beautiful thing about what we're doing. We're setting people free from fear. Hello, Lucky.
Hello. Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from, Lucky?
Hello. Yeah, I'm calling from Nigeria.
Wow.
I'm calling from Nigeria. I am a recent follower of your teachings, and I must say I am very, very impressed.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, most of us have been passing comments, and I'm one of them. I'm really happy about the dissenting views that we are having about happenings in our churches. For long, most of us have not been supporting this, but we thank God that we have people like you that have come to the front burner to be making people to see reasons why these things are not supposed to be so. But I have a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Please, I want you to throw more light because we are learning every day. Okay, sir. I want to throw more light on 1 Corinthians chapter 12.
Yes.
1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 4.
Yes, sir.
It says, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking, and verse 6 says, and there are diversities of operations, but it's the same God which worketh all in all.
Yes, sir.
Now, because we have been having a kind of debate here, people are saying, are we now saying that everybody must now operate the way DSA is operating? Does the Holy Spirit, is it that the Holy Spirit cannot manifest in diverse form anymore?
Yes.
When we agree that there are false prophets and there are false teachers and there are manipulators, are we now also saying that
I have had that question before. Let me answer you. Yes, there is.
Okay, sir.
There is diversity of gift and diversity of operation, but in within the limit of the Bible, within the limit of the New Testament, it cannot go beyond. It is not DSA that is the limit. It is not any man of God that is the limit, but it is the Bible and the New Testament that has placed that limit. But there are some things that are elementary knowledge that are extrasensoric, ESP, magic, and hypnotism. And those things are also known. It's just that in our country, Nigeria, people are not exposed to them. When we have the opportunity to, I've been living here for 30-something years, when we have the opportunity to see it, and our people don't know this, it is a crime for me to know this and not to talk about it. People might believe, people might not believe, but at least I must tell them to know what I've been given the privilege to know.
We are very happy about that, sir. We are very happy about
I believe in the gift of the Spirit. I personally walk in the gift of the Spirit. I walk in the gift of prophecy. I walk in the gift of word of knowledge, word of wisdom, healing, faith, all those things, I believe in them. But when people are doing what is extra biblical, we must also point that out.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I just wanted to thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Ooh. I think people need to go and see some of my old videos on my platform. The church, the way our church operates, the testimonies from the church, the services from our church, the miracles and the things, so that people know that, not that I don't believe in miracle or I don't believe in prophecy. I believe, but we should also talk about the things that are wrong. We should also mention things that are wrong. So, no. But you know what? It will take time, but I hope it will get to our people one day or the other, or one way or the other. So, if we still have any caller, we might still receive one call, and then we'll call it a day today. And I think we've had a great day. That's a very challenging topic, but tomorrow I'm going to be talking about syncretism in faith. Today was syncretism in relations to deliverance. Tomorrow I will be talking about syncretism in relations to faith, the concept of faith. Hello, Isa.
Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Hello.
Have you reduced your Facebook?
Hello, Pastor Sunday.
Yes, we want to hear you. Make sure you reduce the Facebook sound so that we can hear you very well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Where are you calling from, sir?
Yeah, I'm calling from Moscow. I am your neighbor. I used to know that you used to be in Ukraine, right?
Amazing. I'm still in Ukraine, oh.
Okay, may God bless you for giving this enlightenment into the world.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm so encouraged and delighted for you for you really exposing some of this hypnotism and exercise system that pastors or men of God are using today in the shadow.
Yes, sir.
We know that Jesus Christ, when he was leading the apostle, he spent more time in quiet time with communicating with God, praying to God, asking God for permission to act. That's why when he comes out, he heals people not by doing all those type of systematic manipulation. Jesus just spoke the word, the truth, and it would set you free. He said, speak the truth and it shall set you free. By knowing the truth, it will help to set. It's the truth that expels the demon that have to leave the body.
Yes, sir.
Without the truth, without even the scripture, without the word, how can miracle happen? So you are really putting more light to it. And you see, we need people like you to give out the real John the Baptist teaching. Because people have really deviated from the righteous part of God. You see, if you look in the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 11, he said, for he is the one that gives them the right to become apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers.
Yes, sir.
Some people just drop their callbacks because of failures in life and they just jump into religion in order to make money. Were they being called? These are the type of people that have to go and start to look if they can practice all these extrasenses and hypnotism system. We can even look into the book when Ananias was used to deliver the sight of Paul. Even today in this model where people will start calling him prophet. But he was just given that authority at that particular time to do the job, the work of God. And that was all.
Yes.
And he was not being recognized as a major prophet in the scripture.
Yes, sir.
But today, people, if it happens today in this world, people will give all type of title. They will open churches. They will do everything. And they will start to practice this,
hypnotism
of manipulation.
Yes.
So I really want to thank God for your life, and that we were also praying for you so that God will give more inspiration to you to expose most of this, because Africans today, you see, even God himself, he used 6 days for work and 1 day for rest, which is called Keep Holiday.
Yes,
Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Today, people have even made Africans to even forget their assignment. People believe in just miracle. What is the message? If we believe only on miracle, then what are the verses in the scripture meant for?
Yes.
For it is the power of the word that in the presence of the Holy Spirit that brings out miracle.
Beautiful.
So you are already touching, you are already putting high clearance into some of these things, because Africans are really blind.
Yeah.
Illiteracy is also the problem. Illiteracy is the problem.
Yes, sir.
Today, and you see, people believe in people's appearances. That's why you see today pastors are putting all type of fabulous pairs of shoes, suits in order to be attracted.
Yeah.
And you know the women are usually condoned with their emotional feelings.
Yes.
if you look into them, majority of these people that are being carried by these hypnotic people are the women.
Yes.
Because women, their mentality, they follow their thoughts of feelings. You know, the women, they have emotional feelings.
Yeah.
But at least men are considered leaders, so they reason in a different way, in a different approach. The mind start to ask questions, and we have to reflect to the scripture. Is this what Jesus Christ was preaching? Is this what the apostle did? Is this example? You see, Jesus just spoke to the blind man. What do you want me to do for you? Blind Bartimaeus, receive your sight. Simple. Not all this zigzag dancing. Jesus Christ just speak the word. Simple. He did not slap nobody. He just simple, just say, receive it. Your faith has made you well.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So I really want to thank you so much, Pastor Sunday.
Yes.
May God really bless you and give you more anointing and more discernment into the scripture to expose more. We said our people now will start to have the wisdom in order to participate and understand the meaning and the purpose of Jesus coming to this earth and the assignment into this earth also.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Blessings. Okay, I think that's all for today. Idowu Biola, you are very active these days, and Kehinde Adeniyi. Thank you, guys. Thank you also very much. We'll be back tomorrow to continue on syncretism in relations to faith. God bless you guys, and see you tomorrow. Peace.